Will
Jaron Waite and lingering together against the Forsberg line. That's now the matchup that Mark Crawford may go with in tonight's game.
Here comes Kamensky in front, and a penalty coming up here as Adam Foote went to the net. And an early call, 9 seconds in. And talking to the Avalanche coaches today, their #1 priority in this game is go to the net and create some traffic in front of Joseph.
Well, and guess who did? This isn't Claude Lemieux driving towards the net. This is number 52, Adam Foote, the defenseman, that's driving to the net. So right off the bat, the puck goes to the left wing, and Foote, who's the right side defenseman, just takes off and draws the penalty. As you look at tonight's forwards lines to watch for the Colorado Avalanche, Sakic finally back together with his line mates, Jones and Deadmarsh, for tonight's game. The Edmonton Oilers line, the third line, Smith, Herkus, Greer. Good skill on this third line for the Edmonton Oilers.
As Hammerlick goes off for interference at the 9-second mark, the Avalanche in game 1 were 1 for 4 on the power play. Ozelinch to Sakic. Left wing to Forsberg. Too far. And tipped down the ice by Drake Berehowski.
Mark Crawford always likes to talk about Joe Sakic and the fact his shot is so dangerous on the power play.
And Sakic dumps it in, and Curtis Joseph goes to the backhand. He can actually shoot the puck harder and farther with the backhand, as we saw there. Forsberg got the power play goal in game 1. This is Ozelinch. 40 gone in the main advantage. Now Ozelinch to the corner. Knocked away by Bobby Dallas. Forsberg gets it back. Right wing side to Kamensky. To Ozelinch. And he'll play it to the side of the board. Sakic trying to find it. Held in by Ozelinch. To the corner now for Forsberg. On to Kamensky. Lemieux's right in front. In deep for Forsberg. Out from the corner. Across to Kamensky. Shot. He scores! It's 1-0 Avalanche.
John, the Avalanche scoring a great goal by Kamensky. You talk about hands. Great hockey hands here by Kamensky. The puck is in his feet. He's got to find it, bring it back from behind the goal line, all the way in front. He's got to get it by Mironov and up over the stick of Joseph. This is just great hockey ability by Kamensky coming in from the far side. But John, you've got to get back to the play by Adam Foote, the defenseman, right off the bat, charging, draws the penalty. The Avalanche get the power play goal.
So Kamensky gets his first of the playoffs from Forsberg and Ozelinch at 1:22, and that was a power play goal. Now Marchand with that speed, a backhander, and a penalty coming up in behind the play. Miller's involved with Marchand, and we have a call here.
It's against the Avalanche. McCammon driving towards the net. I believe it was Fitzgerald that got tied up with them.
Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Original Course.
Well, the big one, of course, for the Colorado Avalanche, Joe Sakic returns and brings all of that playoff skill and savvy. The 60-minute effort. They fell asleep for 5 minutes last game, and it cost them. And finally, they've got to recapture that momentum. For so long, they have owned this Edmonton club, and the momentum and the confidence is starting to switch to the Edmonton Oilers. But here's a man who can switch momentum in a hurry. And Joe Sakic, for the last couple of years, has scored more points than any other player in the playoffs. He's got the MVP from 2 years ago. He loves this time of year.
Fitzgerald goes off for slashing at 1:44. So the Oilers get their first power play of the evening. They were 1 for 7 in game 1, and that one goal by Ron Lowe's club snapped a penalty-killing streak of 36 in a row for the Avalanche going back to the regular season.
It was around the National Hockey League after game 1. Power plays were at a 10% pace. Oh, and that includes 3 for 11 last night for the St. Louis Blues. So penalty killing did a great job game 1 around the league.
The Blues were the only club to score more than 1 power play goal in any of the first round games.
And LA gave him a lot, gave him 11 opportunities.
The Avalanche have a goal here from Kamensky, assisted by Forsberg and Ozolinsh at 1:22. That was a power play goal. Now we see the Oilers power play, but Forsberg a big hit on Doug Weight, and the Avalanche clear it down the ice. The goal by Guerin in game 1 really got the Oilers going and was the momentum for their comeback. Doug Weight hits the Avalanche line. In front to Guerin, a drive right on goal, and a save by Waugh, and another call. So Fawcett is calling everything early.
This one's going to be on Ryan Smith. The Edmonton Oilers, the player driving towards the net. It looks like he got tied up with Gusarov. Maybe holding the stick, John?
Well, he said obstruction holding.
Okay. It'll be on the left side of your screen. You see the Avalanche player had already been pulled down. That's where the penalty came. But John, as we've been talking, there's been 3 or 4 plays already. Guerin and Forsberg have talked. Weight and Foote have had a little conversation. Foote went over and talked to Guerin. So even after just 1 game of this playoff series, things are very intense on the ice.
I asked Adam Foote about the matchup with Guerin and their battles the other night. His quote, "You haven't seen anything yet." He loves a battle.
He really does. We talked about it last game. When he's given a role, when he's given an assignment, I don't think there are any better defensemen in the league at following through, playing tough, and being smart about it.
So 4-on-4 here. The Avalanche with a 1-0 lead as Forsberg makes a nice pass to Ozolinsh, drops it off to Ewing Krupp. Shot and a save by Joseph. He was going down and got that one up around the right shoulder, and he looks a bit stunned behind the play. But he made the save, and now Forsberg has it again. Oilers let him walk in. He makes a move. He scores!
Well, for Curtis Joseph, this is not going to be considered a great goal. But you have to wonder, he just got banged on the shoulder, and Forsberg, you know, you're always thinking that he's going to pass. And he just makes a sensational move. First on Marshman right here, he makes a little move, gets him going the wrong way, and then he freezes Berehowski, stands him up. And now he's in alone. And this just sneaks through the 5-hole, but Forsberg, an end-to-end rush. One of the rarest things in hockey right now with the Avalanche, and even strength 4-on-4.
Forsberg gets it from Ozolinsh. Here the Avs again. Sakic a shot, and that was blocked at the Edmonton defense. Still 4-on-4. In 25 seconds, the Avs will get a power play. Oh, a save! What a hit! And Sakic fanned on it, and they're going to call the fave, I think, for charging, as he absolutely leveled Scott Fraser. I thought it was a good check.
Well, we're watching the replay where his feet moving. You can't come charging at a guy with more than just 1 stride. You've taken 2 or 3 strides at a guy, they're going to call it charging. But, John, I got to agree, this looked like a hockey play. We don't really see it there. All we see is the check. We didn't see if his feet. Now to the left side. Now, John, it looks like he had set his feet. That's a. But the Avalanche defenseman being aggressive so far in tonight's game.
And the rookie Fraser, who has been quite a story this year for the Edmonton Oilers, came up late in the year and had 12 goals in 29 games and was the 8th leading rookie goal scorer in only 29 games.
He was a rookie of the month, the last 2 months of the year, and this was a guy that was considered by many to be a career minor leaguer. So he has really stepped in, and he's got the speed to play with McCammon and Marchand. and he has taken advantage of a great situation.
Let's go downstairs and join Drew Goodman.
In the first 10 minutes. He knew Colorado would come out flying. Curtis Joseph said the same thing. We need to keep things together in the opening few minutes. Obviously, they have not.
And now the Oilers have a brief 4-on-3 advantage. Down 2-0. Marchand in for Berehowski. A drive right on goal. And a save by Waugh. Now picked up by Berehowski. Fitzgerald is back on the ice. It's now 4-on-4. And eventually, barring any other calls, the Oilers will get a power play. 25 seconds to go in Ryan Smith minor as it's kicked up by Stefan Yell. The Avs lead 2-0 on goals from Kamensky and Forsberg. And Ozolinsh already has 2 assists in the game.
And this is going to be a very physical hockey game, John. Both clubs are following the checks. They're getting the sticks up. The referee's going to have to really stay on top of this one.
And of course, Forsberg now has a point on every Avalanche goal in this series. And icing called here against Colorado. As Forsberg gives Mironov a bit of a late bump, and now they come together again.
Well, for Peter Forsberg, I mean, you have to realize he got slashed in the face. The stick was turned over by Guerin. It wasn't the shaft of the stick. It was the blade of the stick turned over that cut Forsberg. So he's going to be upset. I mean, that is not a normal occurrence in a hockey game.
It's not only Forsberg that is red hot for Mark Crawford's club. Coming into this game, the Forsberg line, Kamensky and Lemieux, of course, on the wings, with 9 goals and 9 assists in their last 3 games. Coming into this one, and they have 3 points tonight.
And gives you that now. We haven't seen it yet because of the penalties. We haven't seen Sakic, I don't believe, out there with Jones and Deadmarsh. Maybe one shift, but they haven't had a chance. And that's where the Avalanche tonight, they have just about their full team.
As Boucherot pounds it down the ice. Smith is back on. The Oilers get their second power play. They are 0 for 1 and down by 2 in the hockey game. Here's Doug Weight, the leading scorer for Edmonton in the regular season against the Avalanche with 6 points. Weight in for Guerin. Slap shot, and that one was wide and off the backboards and down the ice. 30 to go in Lefebvre minor as Roman Hammerlick picked up in a trade this year from Tampa Bay on for Guerin. Cross corner, Waugh knocked it out of midair, and now Deadmarsh trying to work it out, and it was, I think, knocked down with a high stick by the Avalanche, and it was actually Patrick Waugh who did it.
Exactly. They dumped it into the corner. Patrick Waugh knocked it down. The Avalanche were the first team to touch it, so the faceoff will be to the left of Mr. Waugh. There was certainly nobody blaming Patrick Waugh for last game's collapse in the third period. He actually played a very good game, John, especially the first 2 periods. He seemed to be reading the play real well, and I think that's one of the reasons why it was such a shock. Because everything seemed to be going towards the Avalanche. They come in with a 2-goal lead into the third period, or 1-goal lead. They made it 2-goal lead early in the third period.
As Boucherot clears it high, now knocked down by Fitzgerald, and he'll ice it. That should about do it as far as the minor to Lefebvre. 5:25 gone, first period. 2-0 for the Avalanche. And with that kill, Prime Star donates $50 to the Colorado Special Olympics. As the Avalanche get Lefebvre back on the ice, and now Huey Krupp will march the puck out of his own zone. And a long one sails wide of Cujo. Puts it behind the goal, picked up by Forsberg. Now back on the line to Miller. Forsberg held up by Dallas, and Berehowski for Edmonton. Now for Fraser. And he hits the red line. By the way, so far the Avalanche have won every faceoff in this game. They're 9 for 9.
And Peter Forsberg, the first 2 games, has been excellent.
Forsberg won 15 of 25 in the first game. Now Sakic gets the puck to the corner. Gets some help from Kamensky. But cleared around the near side by Mironov. Group on the right point. He blocks it momentarily, and now the veteran Kevin Lowe, the 39-year-old, in his 18th playoff year, on to Buchberger. Stops and fires one, and a save by Waugh. And Buchberger, the Oilers captain, gets it again. Now to Wait. Looks to move it in front. He does a shot. And somehow Waugh made the save on the shot by Lindgren.
Because Buchberger was right in the crease. He'd been knocked in, and he wasn't leaving. And Patrick Waugh had to get up over Buchberger and make the save.
We've captured the thrills of driving a Dodge Viper and put them in a fun, economy-size model. Introducing the Dodge Neon RT with 150 peak horsepower and enough race-inspired features that a checkered flag should be standard. Then add a number like this, not to mention a number like this, and we think you'll agree that this Dodge Neon RT is a non-stop adrenaline blast. Just see the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Hey, Rocky Mountain sports fans. Call Pizza Hut now during the game and you'll receive this great deal from Pizza Hut. One topping, the Sicilian pizza, plus an order of wings, just $11.99. It's bursting with basil, oregano, and garlic, baked into a thick crust, topped with a savory sauce. Can you handle it? To get this special offer, you must call Pizza Hut now. Plus, for a limited time, get a free team tattoo or sticker while supplies last.
Now back to live action. The Avalanche with a 2-0 lead. 12:45 to go in the opening period. This is Roman Hammerleck from center, and a save by Waugh. It was all for naught as the play was offside. The Avs with a quick start to this one. Goals from Kamensky and Peter Forsberg.
When I first came to the YMCA, I was 60 years old. I needed a place to stay active and volunteer. I can play full court basketball at the Y with the kids, and it really keeps me in shape. But the best part is mentoring in a Y program for students who've been suspended. The Y teaches kids values, and if you can affect the lives of just 2 or 3 individuals in this world, you've made an impact.
Well, tonight's Gatorade leaderboard, the save percentage leaders after the first game.
And Rhodes stepped in. What a great game he played against the New Jersey Devils. The Devils even that series up tonight. For Washington, Kolzig had a big game. They're now in the second overtime in Washington. Boston and Washington tied 3-3.
Here it's 2-0 for the Avalanche. They've been outshot 5-3. As Kamensky trying to work into the zone, lost his helmet. He was knocked down, but play goes on here. And the veteran Bobby Dallas. The Oilers have 5 different defensemen than they had in their playoff run a year ago. They're a much better club on the back line. And a lot more experienced team with people like Dallas and Frank Musial. Of course, Kevin Lowe didn't play against the Avalanche in last year's second-round series. And he's in the lineup tonight. Both clubs have made 2 lineup changes for this game. And a big hit in the corner. Kieran and Foote, they battle. And a penalty coming up here. And now Lindgren and Foote come together. I would think it's against either Foote or Kieran, or perhaps both.
I think it's going to go against Gusarov from behind the net, tied up in Lindgren. And again, John's exactly right. It was in the one corner you're watching Guerin and Foote battle away. You think someone's going to get called. Then in front of the net,
they're both going.
Yep.
Well, I was wrong on 2 counts. There were 2 battles. And Lindgren and Gusarov will both go 4-2.
You know, John, in game 1, the one thing that we talked about is we looked at hits. And then there was Gusarov gets tied up with Lindgren. This was earlier. This is before the puck slides into the corner. And they just could have kept that battle going. We talked about how aggressive the defensemen for the Avalanche were for the most part of the hockey game. And they've come out again here in this game and have really put some good hits on, especially, John, right inside the blue line of Edmonton. They've been very aggressive as far as that outlet pass from the Oiler defensemen to the Oiler wingers. The Avalanche defensemen are stepping up and staying in the zone.
Well, the Avalanche coaches have stressed to their people the last few days, this, gentlemen, is probably going to be a long series, and endurance will be a big factor. And if you can hit the opposition early, you could wear them down. As another penalty has been called here against Edmonton. Gooseroff and Lindgren went off for roughing at 8:06. And now at 8:18, it looks like the Avalanche will get a 4-on-3 power play.
Kevin Lowe got tied up with Claude Lemieux right around center ice. And Lemieux, who always seems to have that extra step come playoff time, was driving, and Lowe had to just put the clamps on him for a second. The referee was right there. We're going to watch on the left side of your screen. You're going to see Lowe. He just has not played that much this season because of that inner ear infection. Missed 69 games. Talking to him before the game, he was saying some days are good and some days are bad. Today was a good day, even though I was out of tonight's game, so that's the reason why he was chosen. He brings that experience to a young Edmonton team.
Yeah, get a 4-on-3 power play. They're 1-for-1 tonight. Here's a drive by Crook right on goal, and a save by Joseph, and the rebound cleared to center. It's 2-0 for the Avs, and a great chance here to go on top by 3. Crook in for Sakic. And he tried to make a play, but the veteran Frank Musia will clear it down the ice. Ozolinsh and Krupp on defense. Up front, Sakic and Lemieux. This is Ozolinsh. Ahead to the captain. And again, poked away by Musia. And the Avalanche have to go back. And now Sakic goes off. He was replaced by Forsberg. Ozolinsh to Forsberg. Weaves into the Edmonton zone. Sets it up on this 4-on-3 to Ozolinsh. And that shot was blocked by Buchberger. He's injured. Play goes on. Crook fires one. In front of Lemieux. Missed a wide open side. Buchberger still down. He wants a whistle. Lemieux a drive. And that was wide. And now they get a whistle. He got a shot in the leg. Was down. But remember a couple years ago with Paul Coffey of the Red Wings in the 94 finals, or 95 finals went down? They didn't blow the whistle, the double scored. Same kind of play.
And it's the basic rule of thumb is that until the team gets control of the puck, because the thing that happens is if he goes down and all of a sudden he blows the whistle and he stands up. Because if it had been in the face, now that's a different situation. The referee sees that a guy is really, I mean, in trouble and needs a trainer right away. I mean, this is not a lot of fun. He's hurt, and you get a shot like that off the foot or off the leg. It hurts, but the referee doesn't consider it, you don't want to say life-threatening, but he's not bleeding or whatever. That's the reason why he doesn't call it right away. You know he's a hurting puppy right now.
Well, there was a good example of that in Game 1 when one of the Oilers players, I believe Barahowski, got hit in the eye, and they blew the whistle right away because they felt in that situation he needed immediate attention.
Exactly. I mean, anything up in the face area. But you see, Buchberger fortunately skated off under his own power. But it looks like he got to the side of the leg, and his leg may have just gone numb on him. He's trying to get the referee's attention because he knows he can't get up. But the Avalanche had a golden chance. Lemieux in front of the net. He did everything right. He took his time. He was waiting to go top shelf. Well, this is interesting.
As you can see, Fawcett is on the phone. Here's a chance Lemieux had, Peter.
You see Lemieux, puck comes out. Everything right. And again, in a 2-0 hockey game, that was a big, big play. Billy Bookberger, the veteran, a couple Stanley Cups with the Edmonton Oilers. Great leader.
They might be checking about the time.
When they blew the whistle, how much time was gone?
That's the only thing I can imagine. There wasn't any kind of shot that was close to going in. Remember, at the end of game 1, we had a problem with the score clock.
7 seconds were knocked off. They went from 31 down to 24. Of course, were key seconds in the hockey game, but it's very obvious that was the right call.
So the Avalanche with a 2-0 lead after dropping game 1. You know, in 6 of the last 9 years, the eventual Stanley Cup champion lost game 1 of its opening round series. So maybe that's a good thing for the Avalanche.
That's what we're banking on. Kamenski picked up his first goal of these playoffs. The first goal of tonight's game on the power play. The 5-on-4 power play. Still a 4-on-3 power play for the Avalanche.
It also broke an 8-game goalless drought in playoff competition for Kamenski going back to last year. Forsberg gets the face-off. Ozolic on the line for Sakic. 35 to go on the 4-on-3. Sakic to Ozolic. Back to Sakic. For Ozolic. Doesn't shoot it. Into Forsberg. Great feed to Sakic. And he fanned on it and put it wide. Now down low. It goes back on the left side for Ozolic. He walks in to Forsberg. Now to Kamenski. Into Forsberg again. In the slot, Sakic. Oh, that rocket was just wide. He had Joseph beaten. Sakic has it again. Into Kamenski. The drive and a save by Joseph. Gusarov is back on along with Lindgren. It's now a 5-on-4 advantage, but the Oilers clear it down the ice. And that power play is now over. Lowe is on the ice, so we are back to full strength. It's still 2-0 for the Avalanche with 9:35 to go in the first period. Now Adam put on for Keith Jones. Tip to the Oiler line. Peter, a lot of players on both sides haven't seen the ice in this game with all the calls.
Actually, the third and fourth line guys for either club.
And here's another call. And now Denmark pushes with Garrett.
Well, Billy Guerin, obviously the object of affection for the Avalanche in tonight's game. But Denmark goes off, and John, you're absolutely right. If you're looking for a real flow in tonight's game, it hasn't been there. Because you're not able to roll over your 4 lines, get the guys out there and try and create some momentum. But the specialty teams have got to be good. For the Avalanche tonight, they have the 1 power play goal. They also scored in a 4-on-4. Here's Denmark right there. The smacks Guerin in the back. The referee, the hand went up. And so far, the referee has done a good job of seeing everything. He's been in good spots all over the ice.
Slashing at 10:44. The Oilers get their 3rd power play down by 2. Again, they were 1 for 7 in game 1. Remember last year in the 5-game series against the Avalanche, the Oilers only 2 for 21 on the power play. This would be an icing call. And if Gusarov gets there first, and he does, so some good hustle by Gusarov.
Curtis Joseph, who saved his best goaltending for late in game 1, when he was solid, when the Avalanche had a lot of good shots, good scoring opportunities late, and he scrambles, and he's athletic, and not necessarily the most orthodox of goaltenders, but he is a great competitor. And for the 2nd year in a row, John, he was the most popular player as voted by Edmonton fans. He does a great job in the community, always has, whether it was in St. Louis or with these Edmonton Oilers.
Waugh appeared in 65 games this year for the Avalanche. Joseph played in 71 for Edmonton. Only Mike Richter and Dominik Hasek with 72 played more.
Back-to-back 70-game seasons for Joseph.
Power play here for Edmonton as Waugh whips one to the corner, intercepted by Scott Fraser. Now back on the right point to Berehowski. McCammon on the wing. Ford with a great play to knock it down, and ahead to Fitzgerald. He lets it go from a sharp angle. Remember, Fitzgerald has 13 career short-handed goals, including one with the Avalanche when he had a pair against Anaheim. A minute to go in the power play for the Oilers. Curry knocks it down, and he'll send it back in. And Fraser on the far side for Berehowski. Back for Greg DeVries. The Oilers have made 2 lineup changes tonight. This guy, DeVries, is in the lineup along with Kevin Lowe. And out, Yanni Nienema, who has been felled by a concussion. Also, Ren Murray, number 17, the other scratch for the Oilers.
The Oilers going with 7 defensemen in tonight's game.
And this is an icing call against the Oilers. The Avalanche have made 2 lineup changes. Of course, Corbet has gone for at least 4 weeks with a broken thumb. And Warren Reichel is in for John Clem. Well, you can score your own hat trick at the team store. The team store is having their hat trick special. Buy any 3 adjustable hats for only $30 at any of the team store locations at the Cherry Creek Mall or downtown on the 16th Street Mall. Now 24 seconds left in Denmarsh's minor.
The Avalanche just continue to dominate the faceoffs in this first period.
As Hammerlick works it up the middle. And sails one behind Waugh. Now Doug Waite knocks it down. On the far side for Lindgren. Kucherov was right there to step in front of him. Now he spins away. And a great play by Kucherov. Denmark is back and he gets it. And here come the Avalanche. Back at full strength. Fitzgerald into Denmark. Back in front to Fitzgerald, and it was intercepted by Boris Biranov. And now Doug Waite ventures into the Avalanche zone. In front for Lindgren. Got in too tight. And a sharp angle drive knocked away by Waugh. And back to center ice. So the Oilers are now 0 for 3 on the power play, and that pass to Mike Greer is a 2-line offside pass. 2-0 the Avalanche in the lead.
Did you know that now is the best time to order Prime Star satellite TV?
That's good.
Call 1-800-PRIME-STAR now and you'll get installation for only $99.
That's good.
Along with the Prime Finder remote, plus a free month of Prime Value programming and multi-channel HBO.
Wow, that's good.
And did you know that Prime Star was ranked #1 in customer satisfaction? Call 1-800-PRIME-STAR to save big during the Best Deal from Here to the Moon promotion.
Hey, that is good.
Prime Star, it's that good. Visit an authorized Prime Star retailer for details.
Morning track. Did you bring your binoculars?
Is your cousin a beaver?
All right, my boy Dante Bichette is up.
Come on, little bingo, baby. That is so young, they're having a sale.
That is so deep, Aquaman couldn't find it.
That's so out, it's RuPaul.
We may start serving microbrews in the cheap seats.
Marlins Rockies, Monday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
Well, this Sunday, NFL Europe on Fox Sports Net continues with the game of the week. It's Barcelona against the Rhine Fire. Game time 8 Central, 7 Mountain Time. Also join Fox Sports News anchor Banner Allwright and Jackie Slater for the NFL Europe halftime show. That's this Sunday on Fox Sports for Rocky Mountain. Along with Drew Goodman and Peter McNabb, John Kelly live from Big Mac in Denver. Icing called against the Oilers. And it remains 2-0 for the home team.
John, an unusual 8:30 start in tonight's game, but you know, might not have been so bad because it's a lot cooler outside right now than it would have been at 7 o'clock. And so the ice is going to stay better. It's cooler in the building. The ice will stay better because it's about 80 degrees outside today. So if they'd open up the doors at 5:30, bring in all that late afternoon heat, sometimes the ice gets affected.
And it's Forsberg up front between Kamensky and Lemieux. Mike Greer on with Tony Herkus and Ryan Smith for Edmonton. And Crook trying to work it out. Far side to Ozolinsh, ahead for Forsberg. He was bumped and Herkus shovels it in. The shot's now 7-5 for the Avalanche. Herkus knocks it down. And over the stick of Ryan Smith behind the net. Here's Smith again, now to Greer, but that pass was picked off by Crook, and the Avalanche get to center. Peter Forsberg, surrounded by 4 players, takes a couple of chops and dumps it in. Mironov fell down, and then Denmark went over him. As the hitting continues late in the first period. And now taken by Kevin Lowe. And he'll work it high to center ice. The first man back is Miller. The Avalanche have changed up a couple of their defensive pairings tonight. Miller is with Lefebvre and Krupp is with Ozolinsh. The foot Kucherov hearing has been. And now we have another call, a high sticking minor. It looks like against the Avalanche.
Well, Todd Marsh will come across on Sakic. Sakic dumps the puck into the zone. And that goon, Joe Sakic. Left side of your screen, Sakic just dumps the puck in. Here's a good look at it. And there's been a lot of hitting.
Peter, isn't that a natural reaction for Joe Sakic to get a stick up to protect himself?
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, again, he's the stick up, and, you know, the referee is going to be so conscious of it coming off of last game where everyone said, you know, the sticks were up. But, again, you got to give him credit. I mean, he has called everything textbook here in this first period. I mean, even with the Bookberger lying on the ice, I mean, he's called a very strict first period.
The Oilers get their 4th power play of the first period. Remember, Edmonton in the regular season had the most power play chances of any club, close to 500 by a long shot. The Avalanche were second with 425. Here's a long pass by Lucille, now taken into the zone by Hammerlick. Miller knocked it away, and Lefebvre will whack it down the ice. 40 gone in Sakic's minor. As Lucille starts back, Hammerlick gives it up at center. And again, the Avalanche break up the Oilers' momentum. And Mironov leads it. Oilers passing at this point is not very crisp.
Well, the Avalanche had a brief. There was too many men on the ice. For Everton, the puck came right to the man that was on the ice.
And I believe it went undetected.
Not by Mark Crawford. It didn't. He picked that one up. As they're coming, the puck is shot back right into the bench area where there are a whole bunch of Oiler players on the ice. You see the man coming off. There's already a man on the ice. Mark Crawford did that about 30-foot sprint from one end of the bench to the other. About 1.2 seconds. Got some football scouts.
55 to go in the power play. 4:05 to go first period. The Avs lead 2-0 on goals from Kamensky and Forsberg. Okay, Helski. From Forsberg. And now Bill Guerin run hard by Adams. Put the door came open for a second.
That's the second time in this series that's happened, John.
And the usher was right there to close the door. Back on the line to Mironov. Now for Waite. Here's Mironov. His pass kicked away by Forsberg. He's been all over the ice again. Doug Waite for Edmonton. 15 to go in Sakic's minor. Guerin centers one. Now Mironov. Forsberg has been injured. He gets up. Waugh, and now Forsberg cross-checks McCammond. He was down for a moment. I can only guess that he was hit before his action.
I mean, you can just take any part of this ice and look at it, and something's happening. I mean, they're whacking. There's Forsberg. Bang! There's that chop. That's the same kind of play that broke the hands and thumb, pardon me, of Rene Corbet.
And that's the kind of slash that has to be called. Yeah, well, it wasn't called.
But again, it's so far away from the play, John. You know, it's like the referees. Maybe this gets back to that idea that it's going to have to be 2 referees in the game. So the players have lost a certain amount of respect for each other. So maybe the league is just going to have to say, you know, one guy can't do it, and have 2 sets of eyes on the ice all the time and just crack down, because you can't be losing your star players, or any player, but players are dropping like flies. We've already lost 3 guys in the playoffs after only the first game.
Here's Ucille, a shot, and that was wide. 5 to go in Sakic's minor. And now the puck to the corner for Lindgren. Trying to work in. That shot tipped away, and the Avalanche, of course, back to full strength with that kill. Prime Star donates $50 to the Colorado Special Olympics. And the Avs still lead by a pair.
This is the Chevy S-TAG. This is what Consumers Digest thinks of the S-TAG. This is how to make a Best Buy even better. Up to $1,500 cash back on select S-TAGs, or 1.9% APR. Some believe in individuality at any price. So how about at a great price? Get to your Chevy dealer and check out a Chevy S-TAG.
We made it! Is it still there?
There's only 1 Mile High Taste. Coors, the original.
Well, get all the latest Stanley Cup information for your Avalanche on the TCG Fan Hotline. You can get details on games, dates, broadcast, events, ticket availability, much more. Call 303-537-PUCK.
Well, during that timeout, TV timeout, the referee called the 2 captains, Buchberger and Sakic, together. And John, you never know what's being said in a conversation like this, but a lot of times what is said is, gentlemen, I'll start calling these little scrums one guy every time. I'll start giving somebody a power play, and every time 2 guys get stupid.
Here's an interception by Deadmarsh. Into Sakic, a shot, and a save by Joseph. Teams at full strength here. Deadmarsh, great feed, and a shot by Jones. And a save, and then a hammer look, and Jones come together in front of the Edmonton goal, and now Musil is involved.
And this is exactly what the referee was talking about. And you see what would happen there. Everybody's pushing and shoving. If he just says, okay, I'm taking one from column A, but none from column B, that's when you start to separate them. The referee just let her go. Here's Sakic with that great speed. You have to respect the speed and the shot.
And now he is making a call. Fawcett.
Well, he called Buchberger.
I think he said something. One too many things. Or run low.
Well, I think it would be Buchberger that must have done it, because he skated right over the box himself. Usually if it's the referee, I mean the coach gets to pick the guy that he sends over. And Buchberger happens to be one of their best penalty killers.
Peter, for the last 3 years, these clubs, of course, being in the same division, have met a lot. And as we have gone along in the 3 years, the series has gotten nastier and nastier, especially from the playoffs a year ago and picking up in midseason this year.
A playoff series against the club will always raise the level of that intensity. Because everybody remembers one team has lost, another team has won. And it always seems to be a lot of grudges left over.
The Avalanche are 1 for 2 on the power play and lead 2-0. Here's Lemieux into the corner for Kamensky. Gets it 3-2. Lemieux back of the goal for Forsberg. Looks to make a play back there. Draws 2 Oilers to him. Try to center one. And Marchand is there to poke it ahead now for Lindgren. Against Ozolinsh. And the Avalanche break it up. And here comes Eric Lacroix. He's one of the players that hasn't seen much ice time at all with all these calls. But he was on the second power play unit here.
You wouldn't believe what just happened, John. 2 Edmonton Oilers players pinned Kamensky in the doorway to the bench of Edmonton and wouldn't let him get back on the ice.
Denmark tried to center one. 55 to go in the power play. Doug Waite there. Oh, knocked down by Denmark. Had a man open for a moment. Now Denmark gets it again. Jones right in front. A shot on goal. Rebound. Jones trying to stuff it in and a save by Joseph. And now Denmark is knocked down by Mironov. This thing is on the verge of just breaking out. Then Fawcett will make more calls. At least Mironov will go. And obviously Eric Lacroix was clipped.
This thing could get real nasty. And the Edmonton Oilers are a competitive club. You see Lacroix again cut. There gets to be a point, John, where the frustration gets so intense. And Eric Lacroix, who makes his living right in this area where he's going to take the punish right in front of the net. Waite's going to get 2 minutes for elbowing.
It was that last shot.
Yeah, it was the last shot by Waite that comes through. Elbows Lacroix in the head.
Mironov, who was hacking and whacking in there, got off without a call. So the Avalanche will get a 5-on-3.
And you know, for Edmonton, after the Avalanche got those quick 2 goals, that they would have loved, obviously, loved to score a goal. But if you can get out of the first period just down by 2, it's okay. Here's the Avalanche opportunity. 41 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. This is killer instinct time. This is when you take control of the game.
And from the face-off, it goes back on the line to Krug. He walks in, and a shot is right on goal, and a save by Joseph. And we'll do it again.
You know, one of the things, the Avalanche did not have Krug last year. They didn't win the Stanley Cup. And it's been proven. You look, Stanley Cup champions over the course of the last 4 years. The 6 defensemen and 1 goaltender have been eligible for 595 games. On the Stanley Cup champions, they played 567. That's 95% healthy. You can lose some forwards, John, but the defense and your goalie have got to stay almost 100% healthy if you're going to make a run at the cup.
Forsberg gets the face-off. On the line, Sakic on this 5-on-3. Sakic gets it back. Now for Ozolinsh. Into Forsberg, back to Ozolinsh. To Sakic, to Ozolinsh. And he missed the goal. Now Kamensky back of the goal for Forsberg. Gets away from the check in the final minute of the first. On the line to Ozolinsh. Sakic to Ozolinsh. He walks in now for Forsberg. In front. Sakic, a shot and a good arm save by Joseph. Bookberger is back on it. Now a 5-on-4. Sakic again. Fires one, and that was just wide. Peter Forsberg with 1:10 to go in the 5-on-4. Forsberg in front to Sakic. Oh, what a chance, and it was blocked by Mironov. A gutsy play to stop the shot by Sakic.
And credit Edmonton, they killed off the 5-on-3. crowd was just poised to explode, and they showed good poise on the ice. Joseph makes his best save was on Sakic. Didn't go down. That's the second save. Sakic, who had 2 chances from that left side. The first one, Joseph makes a very good save. Sakic was waiting for him to drop and had time to go top shelf, but Joseph stayed tall and took away the top part of the net.
Well, 25 to go in the period. And if Ron Lowe's club could get out of here down only a couple, and having killed this 5-on-3, it might give them some momentum.
Absolutely, and especially after the goals came early. And it looked like the Avalanche were going to run away. They had a couple more power play opportunities. So the Avalanche, this is, again, an important 25 seconds.
And Edmonton controls the faceoff, trying to go high, but Krug, he kept in with that 6'6" reach, and now poked away by Matt Lindgren. He's got a break up the middle, but Ozelinch recovered and swept it away. 7 to go in the period. And Yui Krug controls it. Long feed to Ozelinch at the buzzer, and he put it wide. And that is the end of a rather nasty first period controlled by the Avalanche.
Both clubs, you talk about a competitive first period. The Avalanche, Forsberg leading the way. Great energy early, but both teams just punished each other in that first period.
Goals from Kamensky and Forsberg. The shots 12-6 for Colorado. So after one here in Denver, it is the Avalanche leading 2-0 here in Game 2.
Nothing catches your eye like the more luxurious 200 horsepower Accord V6. An Accord like no other.
Want to build or buy a new home? Come to First Bank for your mortgage loan. You can't beat First Bank's competitive rates, choice of terms, and personal service. First Bank has mortgage loans for most any type of home, and for refinancing too. First Bank is locally owned with over 70 locations. You can apply for your loan over the phone. You get an answer right away, and before you know it, it's moving day.
First Bank, Colorado Bank for you.
The NHL playoffs.
I've been in these types of games before.
Join Craig Simpson for the inside view only a pro knows.
Picture perfect play.
The quest for the cup.
Right now.
Fox Sports News prime time, weeknights at 10.
The gap seems to have closed. Formula One on Fox Sports Net. Ferrari's Michael Schumacher broke through the McLaren stranglehold. Now it's San Marino's turn. The San Marino Grand Prix, Sunday at 4:30 on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
George Washington planted this tree in 1785. He understood the importance and magnificence of trees and planted hundreds of them here at his Mount Vernon home. I like to think he did this for the good of America. Unfortunately, due to urban sprawl, our community annually loses thousands of trees. The America the Beautiful Act of 1990, enacted during my husband's administration, created a tree planting foundation, the National Tree Trust, so that the steps started by George Washington can continue today. By getting involved in the National Tree Trust, you too can ensure the legacy of America the Beautiful from sea to shining sea for the good of America.
You're watching Colorado Avalanche hockey on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Avalanche hockey on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain is brought to you by the Discover card, accepted where you see the Nova sign. Gatorade, you don't have to live life thirsty. Applies to sport, drink it up. You're a Honda dealer who invites you to compare the value of a Honda today. And by Pizza Hut, home of the new Sicilian pizza. Can you handle it? After one here in Denver, the Avalanche lead the Oilers 2-0. Now we go downstairs and rejoin Drew Goodman.
All right, John, thanks very much. Bill Guerin alongside. Naturally, in the playoffs, the more you play one team, seems like the physical nature picks up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what playoffs is all about. It's about, you know, building a rivalry. I think after last year and last night's game, we got a pretty intense one going on.
Strange as it may sound, the way the game started, you probably feel pretty good that it's only 2-0.
Yeah, we had an extremely slow start. We, you know, we're not really too happy about that. But you know, we had to come from behind win last night, and you know, we just have to be a little bit smarter, stay out of the box, and you know, do the things that helped us last game.
As much confidence as you had coming into the playoffs, that win the other night really had to lift you even that much more, I would think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a building that we haven't had a lot of success in, and you know, we knew we had our hands full with Colorado, but you know, the other night was a good test for us and a good win.
All right, thanks for coming out, Bill. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Bill Guerin. It is time now to meet our Pizza Hut kidcaster of the hockey game.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Couillon, tonight's Pizza Hut kidcaster for the Avalanche. My question for Eric Lacroix is, what is the most challenging part of your game?
I'd have to say consistency. You know, in the NHL, you have your superstars, and then you have your guys that are out there every day that have to work hard. And not that superstars don't work hard, but you have to go out there and be consistent every day because you don't have the best talent out there. So you got to go out every day, whether it's practice or game, or if you play one shift or 10 shifts a period, you got to go out there and be consistent all the time, and that's the biggest challenge.
Cynthia and Eric, thank you very much. The A on the building downtown for the Avalanche, and of course, they hope it stays up there for a long time. 2-0, the Avalanche leading the Oilers, trying to even the series at 1.
Wouldn't you rather do things the easy way than the hard way? Elevator instead of stairs. ATM machine over the long teller line. Calculator instead of your fingers. Well, now here's the easiest way to put $1,000 in your pocket. Just buy a new Ford Escort from your Rocky Mountain Ford dealer and get 1.9 financing or $1,000 cash back. And that's on any Escort. So, buying a new Ford Escort and getting 1.9 financing or $1,000 cash back, well, that's easy. Getting this deal anywhere else, now that's hard. Just see your Rocky Mountain Ford dealer today.
Fuel for thought number 101. Here's something to think about. Now that there are more than 350 Diamond, Shamrock, and Total locations in Colorado, you can fill up and get a jumbo drink in Loveland. Get a bag of Cheetos and top off your tank in Denver. Then sing along to the radio all the way to Colorado Springs. Wash your orange Cheeto hands, drive your bug-encrusted car through the car wash, and turn towards Grand Junction. Hey, life's a trip. But now that we're everywhere, it's a nicer, easier trip. It's just fuel for thought. Diamond, Shamrock, and Total. All you need.
It's not a bath center. It's not a kitchen design center. It's not a paint store or plumbing supply. What is it? It's Home Base, and it'll change the way you think about home improvement. Everything you need from free and home design consultation to delivery and installation to base buys, you'll find at Home Base. Our expert staff is happy to help with that small part or that big idea. And now there are wider, brighter aisles for quick, easy shopping. Go to the Base, Home Base. We've got all the bases covered.
Bobby?
What do you want?
We've got to talk. These kids you're mixed up with don't know right from wrong.
They're my friends.
People who don't dial 1-800-COLLECT are nobody's friends. 1-800-COLLECT is 10 cents a minute every evening.
Really?
This isn't a game, kid. You could be saving your parents money.
Bobby, it was us or him.
You made the right choice, son. 1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening.
Sometimes you just have to want it more. When more points comes down to more passion. When you'd rather wound your body than your pride. When getting to heaven means going through hell. And either you have it in you or you don't. Gatorade, is it in you?
Hey, Yui, going skiing?
Nope.
Wait a minute, isn't that the Volvo V70 Cross Country?
Yes.
Doesn't it come with all-wheel drive?
Yes.
And isn't that a ski rack?
Well, yes.
Then you are going skiing.
Coach won't let us ski.
But aren't those ski boots?
Ice skates.
Where are the blades?
Being sharpened.
Uh-huh.
Visit your Colorado Volvo dealer, because the right car for Yui just might be the right car for you.
20 minutes of hockey done in Game 2 of the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Avalanche leading the Edmonton Oilers by a count of 2-0. And welcome back inside. I'm Drew Goodman. The Avalanche trying to even this series at 1 apiece, and they started like a ball of fire tonight. Peter Forsberg and Val Kamensky both scored in the opening 3 minutes of the hockey game. The first by Val Kamensky came on the power play, and then Forsberg, who had an assist on the power play goal, scored on a beautiful rush up the ice. So the Avalanche in control right now, 2-0. Time to take a look at the Airtouch Cellular NHL scoreboard. New Jersey evens the series with Ottawa 3-1, and Philadelphia wins 3-2 over Buffalo. That series tied at 1. Lindros, Groton, and LeClaire, the stars came out for Philly. They all scored in the game. Boston in 2 overtimes evens their series with the Capitals. Jason Allison, who had a wonderful comeback year this year, had a goal and 2 assists for the Bruins. Raymond Bourque also a couple of points in that hockey game for Boston. Dallas over San Jose 5-2. They now lead that series 2-0. Of course, playing without Joe Nieuwendyk tonight. And look at this score. Maybe the surprise of the night. Phoenix pounds Detroit by a count of 7-4. Jeremy Roenick had a couple of goals. Rick Tocchet had a couple of goals for Phoenix. And that series is knotted up at 1 apiece. Here again in Denver, the Avalanche trying to knock their series up with the Oilers. Lead 2-0 at the end of 1.
In financial news, stocks are plummeting for more than 3.5.
Choose the wrong wireless service?
Winstead, get me a phone. That worked.
With AirTouch, you get coverage you can count on. Excuse me. Who knows? It could change your life.
Ugh.
AirTouch.
Sign up with AirTouch and get a free AudioVox phone and car lighter adapter.
You know, I was into all that extreme stuff when I was your age. Just didn't have a fancy name for it. Because I never had a Subaru Outback Sport either.
Too bad, Uncle. This beauty's got a ton of cargo space. Full-time all-wheel drive, more horsepower than a RAV4. You never did that, I'll bet.
Sure we did. But what's the rope for?
Outback Sport, part of the Outback family from Subaru.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Chord Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Home teams, Fox Attitude. You're watching Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
The Avalanche through 1 period of play, leading the Edmonton Oilers 2-0 from McNichols Arena in Denver. After the disappointment of losing Game 1 in a game they led 2-0, losing by a count of 3-2, the Avalanche faced adversity going to Game 2, and they responded very quickly with a couple of goals in the first 3 minutes. And as you might expect, the physical nature and the testiness of the game picked up very quickly. Mark Fawcett blew his whistle 11 times, sending people to the box. The Avalanche were 1 of 4 on the power play, and Edmonton 0 of 4. Let's go upstairs for more. John Kelly and Peter McNabb. Guys, take it away.
All right, Drew, you know, another trend in this series through 4 periods. The Avalanche have been a quick starting team in every period in this series.
They've come out sharp and strong. But give Edmonton credit, they slowed things down. I mean, slowed things down as far as they didn't use their speed, but they sort of got the game back under control a little bit as the period went along. And I'm sure they're saying, we came back from 2 goals last game, let's do it again. For the Avalanche, they want to come out exactly as they did in period 2 last game, which was their best period.
All right, the first period scoring summary brought to you by Volvo.
And Val Kamensky picks up his first goal. This is a great hockey goal. He has to find the puck in a scramble coming across. He has to bring it from on the other side of the goal line, out in front, and chip it by Cujo. Just a wonderful play by Kamensky.
And the Forsberg goal came right after Joseph had taken a shot up high.
Well, the Avalanche have scored 4 goals so far in this series. Forsberg has 3 goals and 1 assist and has been absolutely magnificent.
And our first period number is courtesy of Chevrolet.
You look at the hit, 6-1 for the Avalanche, led by the defensemen, who were very aggressive for the Avalanche, especially down at the blue line. Right along the Edmonton's blue line, they were really punishing the wingers.
So the Avalanche with a 2-0 lead after 1 period. The second is coming up next.
Of all the great conveniences found in America's best-selling minivan, here's one you rarely get to enjoy. A very generous $1,000 cash back on Grand Caravan. Or you can choose this Dodge Caravan, which includes all this at no extra charge. And after $750 cash back, the price drops to an exceptionally low $17,245. But hurry, because numbers this good get carried away rather quickly. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Who's ready to come up?
Petey.
Call him up.
Choose the wrong wireless service?
No answer. Who's next? Bengal. Call him up.
With AirTouch, you get coverage you can count on.
Bingle.
Who knows? It could change your life. AirTouch.
Sign up with AirTouch and get a free AudioVox phone and car lighter adapter.
Did you know that now is the best time to order Primestar satellite TV?
That's good.
Call 1-800-PRIME-STAR and you'll get installation for only $99.
That's good.
You'll also get a free month of our Prime Value package and multi-channel HBO, plus our Prime Finder remote control. Push one button to find all the movie channels, one for sports, and so on.
Hey, that's really good.
At $99, it's the best deal from here to the moon. But it ends soon, so call 1-800-PRIME-STAR now. Primestar, it's that good. Stop by an authorized Primestar retailer for details.
This is the latest video game we're developing, and this is our inspiration, my Volkswagen Jetta. Excellent. When you write code for 15 hours straight, you gotta get out. The Jetta's a real German road car with plenty of room for 4 carbon-based life forms. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and side impact door beams, because in real life, there is no reset button. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Football's back with NFL Europe, Sunday on Fox Sports Net. NFL hitting. NFL toughness. NFL attitude. Let's go! NFL Europe on Fox Sports Net. NFL action. European cheerleaders. Barcelona battles Ryan, Sunday at 7 on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Avalanche hockey on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain is brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. Taco Bell introducing Gorditas, the revolutionary new taco. Viva Gorditas. and by your Colorado Volvo dealer. Test drive the all-wheel drive Volvo V70 at your Front Range Volvo dealer today. This man has had a hand in every goal for the Avalanche in this series, and the Avalanche lead this one 2-0 after one.
And the stats we get between periods, something that doesn't happen. I can't remember the last time it happened for a Mark Crawford coach team. A player played more than half the period. Peter Forsberg played 10 minutes and 39 seconds. A lot of it was because Forsberg was killing penalties and on the power play.
And counting this game, Forsberg now in 5 playoff games. Remember, he only played 3 last year in the series against Edmonton after suffering the concussion. But in 5 playoff games against Edmonton, Forsberg now with 6 goals and 5 assists. Here's Kamensky into the zone. On the wing for Lemieux. Still 15 seconds to go in the power play. Ozolinsh walks in. Fresh shot and a save by Joseph with his left arm, and the puck cleared to center. And stared by Todd Marchand, the Buffalo native, and that was wide. Now Ryan Smith gets it, and that was blocked in front. And now Doug Wade is back on, so the Oilers are back to full strength.
But John, that last hit down in the corner, for the third time, the door came open. And John, when you're playing with danger, somebody eventually is going to get hurt badly. That thing can't be fixed.
And that again is the door down on the left side in the Oilers zone on the near side of the ice where the Oilers come onto the ice. Now tipped into the Avalanche zone. Taken by the veteran Adam Foote, ahead for Stefan Yell. Now Gusarov with it. Again, this pairing of Gusarov and Foote, a constant, but the other 2 pairings are different tonight for the Avs on defense. There's a shot, and Mironov bumped in behind the play. And now Fitzgerald on an Oiler player low, and then Mironov reaches down, so we pick up in the second period right where we left off after one.
And there's going to be obviously more penalties. Fitzgerald was on top of an Oiler. But John, just to give you an example, the point you were making in the first period about certain players not getting a lot of ice time because of all the penalties. There's Lowe and Fitzgerald as they went into the corner. You look down the ice time in the first period. Warren Reichel had 36 seconds. Keith Jones only 2:52. Jeff Odgers a minute 9. Curry 2:39. And Eric Lacroix only a minute and 25 seconds. So there's a lot of guys that did not play.
Well, speaking of not playing, Bill Ewert of the Oilers, a utility guy, former member of the Avalanche, has suffered a pulled groin and will not return.
And he only played 28 seconds. So he must have, when he stepped on the ice, that's when he pulled it right off the bat. And here's what we're talking about, John, with the door down at the far corner. And this is, again, you see the door pop open. If it happens to be coming from the other side, rolling up the boards, boy, there is nothing more shocking than think that you're just going along the flat board and all of a sudden a door is open. That is one sudden stop.
Well, Lowe and Mironov go off. Fitzgerald for the Avalanche. Ruffy Miners to the trio, and the Avalanche will get a 5-on-4 power play. They're 1 for 4. This time the power play features Sakic at center between Jones and Deadmarsh, with Troop and Ozolinsh back on defense.
And for Ozolinsh, he now has 3 assists in the first 2 games of the series.
He also did well against Edmonton during the regular season with 9 points in the 6 games. And goes by everybody. No icing here. Berehowski, the first man back for Edmonton. Now Deadmarsh in there. He gets some help from Jones. Now to Sakic. On the line to Troop. Lets it go. Right on goal, and a save by Joseph. I'm not sure if he saw that one until the last instant. Now Deadmarsh left it for Sakic. Right point, Ozolin. And that shot was off something wide. Now Jones tried to center one. Sakic gets it again. In for Denmark. Back to Ozolin. He walks in. Pulls it toward him. Now to Krupp, a shot. And knocked down in front, right to Ozolin again. To Denmark, a shot. And that was wide and cleared by Waite. Went down the ice. Here comes Ozolin now to center ice. 40 to go in the power play. Forsberg trying to dart in there around Musil. Forsberg with one hand on the stick, pulled down, and goodbye Musil.
Well, Musil just not as fast as Forsberg. And again, we see what Forsberg does so well. He almost slows down to initiate contact with Musil. So Musil's got him. And then all of a sudden he takes that extra stride and breaks away, and you're stuck pulling him down. Now watch Forsberg right here. He comes in, he initiates a contact, and then he makes the extra stride. And there's nothing you can do but pull him down. That's where that incredible balance of Forsberg is so tough to deal with.
And the Avalanche, for the second time in this game, will get a 5-on-3. This one will last 32 seconds. And if the Avalanche's early power play on the 5-on-4 is any indication, I think Mark Crawford wants his club to shoot it a lot more.
We've seen Krupp, every time the puck has come to Krupp, he's just unloaded. So that must be the game plan, especially for the defenseman.
As Forsberg controls the face-off on this 5-on-3. Ozolin now to Sakic. In for Ozolin, and he can't get to it. And tipped away by Greg DeVries. Sakic back with 20 to go in a two-man advantage. A pass in for Lemieux. Now gathered in by Sakic. A try and a save by Joseph on his knees, and he holds on.
Sakic shoots that puck so well off his off wing. He's a left-handed shot on that right side, and he's able to push so much. He's got strong legs, John, but he's also very strong upper body, and really bends over that shot. It is so quick. And I mean, it's so often we see him just fool the goaltenders with just the pure speed of it.
Both Sakic and Krupp led the Avs with 3 shots apiece in that first period. Forsberg on a big face-off here with 10 to go in the 5-on-3 against Lindgren. Forsberg goes down, gets it, now back to Sakic. Left point Ozolin. In deep to Kamensky. Makes a move, a backhander. And it's loose there and covered. And now the Oilers get Mironov back, so they've dodged one bullet.
Yep, they killed off a 41-second 5-on-3 in the first period. Here they killed off a 32-second 5-on-3. So again, Edmonton's penalty killing, doing the job here, keeping them within striking range. Again, Joseph, I mean, he's just flat a good goalie. You know, you can't really say he has any style, even something that doesn't have necessarily the butterfly style. A lot of times his legs will come back into the net. Looks like he's off balance, but he makes the save.
Dominik Hasek doesn't exactly have a style either.
He's very Hasek-like. That's all Dominik is. Well, they lost tonight, 3-2.
Here's Krupp on the line, a blast. That was tipped away. 1:25 to go in the 5-on-4 advantage. The Avalanche with a 2-0 lead early here in the second. Now Jones to the corner for Eric Lacroix. Back of the goal to Denmark. He battles with Berehowski. And Lacroix pass back for Krupp was a bouncer, and it goes down the ice. A minute to go in the power play. Y ahead to Jones. For Denmark, back to Lacroix. Dumped in back of the goal. And Lowe fans on it. And it's kept in by Yuri Krupp. Krupp looking to center. And Lowe there again. Can't clear it. Krupp again. For Jones, back of the net. Mironov trying to clear it out. LeFave held it in. And he cranks it up for that. Hit a leg in front. And Doug Wade will jam it down the ice. Now 30 to go in the power play. Here comes LeFave again to the Avs. Sent in. Joseph missed it. And Lemieux to the corner for Kamensky. In front. And Joseph Joseph got his stick on it, and now Kamensky and Joseph collide. And the net comes free behind the Oiler goalie.
Well, Joseph got tangled up with Kamensky in game one. It resulted in a goal by Forsberg that, you know, was one of those 50-50 propositions that depended on whose club you were cheering for as far as how the call went. Again, Joseph deep in his net. Kamensky does that so well, John. Drives to the net, whether it's coming down the wing or coming across. And that's, I mean, he's got great hands, got a very high lie on his stick. Lets him stick handle right in his feet, so it's tough to get to the puck. He, like Forsberg, has had an unbelievable career against these Edmonton Oilers. 24 games, 37 points.
15 to go in Lucille's minor. 4:45 gone, second period. 2-0 for the Avalanche. As Adam Foote blasted in. On the boards, Reichel gets it free. Sakic now back on the line to Kucherov. And that shot was off a stick. Foote tried to center, he does. Sakic is robbed by Joseph. Oh, what a chance there. And again, a big pile up, and everybody's involved. And sticks are up and gloves are off. That's Odgers for the Avalanche. Foote is involved with somebody, with Greg DeVries, and they drop the gloves. We have two fights going on, DeVries and Adam Foote. Odgers is involved away from it.
We knew this was eventually going to happen.
Foote landed it right there. They've got to be exhausted by now, and they are. Well, the Avs had the right players on the ice for something like this.
They didn't play much in the first period, but you're going to line up the guys that are going to get involved in something you want. Foote, Odgers, and Reichel out there. But somebody, the Avalanche may lose Foote. Now, he's going to the dressing room. This may be a... Remember, if there's an altercation going on and someone else starts a fight, you're out of the game. This would be a costly loss for the Avalanche. DeVries didn't play that much in the first period. Foote is certainly a valuable member of the Avalanche at any time. So this is a key moment in the hockey game as far as the referee and what the call is going to be. Now, he may have just given them 5 in a misconduct, which is 15 minutes, and there's 14, 57. Just got him out of here.
Well, for Foote and the Avalanche's sake, you can hope that's the call, as things have broken out in this one with the Avalanche leading by 2.
When you're ready to make the move to a minivan, make your first move to a Ford Windstar, the first minivan to earn a perfect 5 stars for safety. Windstar has a driver's side door that opens wider, so it's easier and safer to get kids in and out. And Windstar has over 40 standard safety features, like 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, dual airbags, and side intrusion beams, all with a great deal. When it comes to safety, you naturally put your family first. So does Ford Windstar. So make the move to your Rocky Mountain Ford dealer today.
We made it! Is it still there?
There's only one Mile High taste. Coors, the original.
Well, the Avalanche nearly scored before the fracas broke out.
Pucks seemed to be rolling maybe a little bit on Sakic, but then all of a sudden, the Oilers just said that's enough and running into Joseph and took things into their own hands, and it got a lot of people involved, but I think, John, as I was listening to the penalties, DeVries and Foote got 5 and 10. So that's why they went to the locker room. So they will not lose Foote for the third period.
And it appears that Reichel got the extra minor. This is a marathon bout here between DeVries and Foote.
And DeVries is a big guy, a strong guy, and we all know how strong Foote is. So when they're holding on and grappling, that is just absolutely exhausting.
Well, you're right, Peter. They got 5 and 10, Foote and DeVries. Reichel and Mironov fighting majors, and Reichel the extra roughing minor, all at 5:03.
That's what, you know, a lot of times the referee will throw that second, the guys that are involved in that second fight out of the game.
So a power play for Edmonton. They are 0 for 4 on the night. And you saw the Avalanche have had 12 shots in the power play out of their 16. And also 1 short-handed. So only 3 even strength shots for the Avalanche.
And there hasn't been that much even strength hockey played in tonight's game. For the Avalanche, defensively, Miller is taking Adams' foot spot with Gusarov killing his penalty.
And Gusarov, the first man back, over skates at Guerin, sends it back on the line to Hammerlick. Now for Guerin. Left point to Doug Weight to Hammerlick. And that shot hit some legs in front, never got through to Waugh. Here's Guerin again. Smith providing a screen right in front of Waugh. Hammerlick on the line. That one's not through. And a save by Waugh.
John, you know, there's that good save positionally, and then you get a little luck thrown here. Patrick Waugh was tied up with Smith and Miller in front. He had just given Miller a little shove, and then he went down. And this puck seemed to either bounce or deflect right into his catching glove. This is a great angle of Patrick. Now watch it front. That's Smith and Miller right there. Now Waugh's down off right there through a screen. Terrific save by Patrick Waugh.
That may have been his toughest of the evening. He's faced only 8 shots.
Well, he just takes the bottom part of the net away on the screen.
1:10 to go in Reichel's minor. The Avalanche get a face-off. Forsberg won it again. In the first period, Forsberg won 11 of 15 draws. As Weight lugs the puck to center. And banked in behind the net. Dean McCammon tips it to the corner. Now McCammon gets it back. Forsberg blocked it and clears it to center ice. And here's Weight again with 40 seconds left in the power play. In for Hammerlick. Again, they dump it behind Waugh. Lefebvre to the corner now for Huey Krupp. And he goes up the middle and 200 feet down the ice. .20 left in Reichel's minor. Here's Weight, a good pass for Buchberger. Charges to the corner. And Miller got over there, tipped it off the glass to Yell, and he'll get it out of the zone.
Good play by Miller. He'll get the ice time that Foote would have had here in this second period.
And a pass by Buchberger, knocked down by Yell. And the Avalanche are back to full strength. And with the kill, Prime Star donates $50 to the Special Olympics. Edmonton now 0 for 5 in the game. And 1 of 12 in the series. And trailing here 2-0 in game 2. Of course, Edmonton won game 1, 3-2. Game 3 scheduled for Edmonton on Sunday, 4 o'clock Mountain Time.
Johnny Dahl's got a stick in the face. Denmark is fixing up and flipped him.
Here's a pass in front to Denmark. Off his stick, now Sakic gets it. In front, oh, quick shot. Sakic again a drive. And that was blocked in front, I think, by Mike Greer. Now the captain corrals it in for Kamensky. To the goal to Denmark. And it never got through. Berehowski blocked it. Now Kamensky for Sakic. Denmark try to center it. Kamensky gets it again for the Avalanche. Now Sakic. Sharp angle. Denmark, the one-timer. And Joseph made the save, and play goes on. And the Avalanche make a quick change up front. As it's dumped in by Greer. Forsberg just onto the ice. And he comes to center with Jones and Lemieux. Forsberg had Lemieux open on right wing, but the pass off a skate, then back to center, and then Lemieux runs down a man, and here comes Jones, in with Forsberg, 2-on-1. And the shot by Jones never got through. And Hammerluck trying to clear it away. The Oilers back on their heels here. Down 2-0 already. Jones broken. Forsberg into traffic. And now the Oilers, Hammerluck gets it back to center, played into the zone offside as Lemieux touches it. Great action, and the Avalanche lead by 2.
You are my sunshine.
Go for it, Ben.
The Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world.
Dad, can we body surf? Wow, can we?
Wait a
minute, hold on. Come on, shorty. Curly pants. Everybody else wearing something. I'll race you to the beach. You're not gonna beat me.
Hey, don't go in the water.
You know, I can tell just by looking whether a vehicle's been driven hard or not. This guy's one of my regular customers. Scorched brake rotors, beat up oil pan, probably never takes his foot off the gas. And he trusts me to make sure it performs when he needs it most. So there's only one brand of auto parts I trust, CarQuest. I mean, you never know. Someday, he might need to give me a ride.
CarQuest, the professional choice.
Tonight's U.S. West game summary, the Avalanche with a 2-0 lead. The power play numbers and the numbers for Forsberg and Ozolinsh are very impressive.
And Bobby Dallas got the stick up from Deadmarsh. You see Deadmarsh right here gets it up. That easily could have been a penalty. Dallas was all over the referee as he was skating back up the ice.
11 to play in the second period. Waite fires it in, off the board, and Watt got over there and stopped a shot by Brookberger. That one had trouble written all over it. And now the puck taken at the Oiler line by Fitzgerald, but the play is offside. Well, don't forget the Avalanche's breakaway sale is in progress. You can buy any adult replica player jersey and score a free children's size jersey or 50% off any youth size replica jersey. The team store has 2 locations at the Cherry Creek Mall and downtown at the 16th Street Mall.
Well, the referee just is not going to let this game get out of hand without saying, I'm not putting up with this stuff. The claw bumps into Gare, and the referee just went immediately gave him the tee, and now Edmonton goes in the power play.
The Oilers 0 for 6. During the regular season, Ron Lowe's club led the league with 77 power play goals. They only scored 108 even strength goals in 82 games. Just over 1 a game at even strength.
When we get back to that number we showed the other night, Gretzky had 215 points one year. Edmonton scored 215 goals this year. And so, you know, if the Avalanche can hold them off on the power play, that really gives them an advantage in the game.
Forsberg and Sakic up front here. Forsberg walks in, and the shot is off a stick of Roman Hammerluck, and he gets a rather subtle face wash from Forsberg.
Well, this is that very interesting time in the game. It's about halfway through, 10:26 left. Composure and courage. The courage to keep doing what you need to do to win a hockey game. The composure to keep doing it when somebody smacks you in the head and not retaliate. And it's that is a tough combination, because right now, I mean, things are mean and ugly out there. So you have to have the courage, John, to keep going to the front of the net, keep going to the corner. And plus, though, you're probably going to get popped. And you can't just turn around and smack somebody.
Both goals scored back in the first period by Kamensky at 1:22. A power play goal from Forsberg and Ozolinsh. And then Forsberg scored at 2:54 from Ozolinsh. The only scoring in this game to this point. Edmonton on a power play. Flipped in, Waugh is wandering, gets it on the glass, and it hit the glass and went out of play. The faceoff will be in the Av zone. Let's go downstairs and join Drew Goodman.
John, I had an interesting conversation earlier today with Claude Lemieux, and he was talking about learning from problems in the playoffs when you give games away, and the Avalanche definitely feel like they gave game 1 away. This guy knows more about the playoffs than just about anybody playing in the NHL. He said it's how you respond after mental lapses in the next game, and so far, obviously, tonight they have responded fairly well.
The Avalanche know if they win tonight, then they go back to Edmonton. They're 3-0 in Edmonton this season, so they have good confidence there.
And they split the 2 games in the playoffs last year in Edmonton, winning the 4th game in overtime and a goal by Lemieux. Penalty coming up here against the Avs. Dallas a shot. Bouncer on to Waugh, and now Edmonton. And Marchand is running through the net by Crew. Until that little altercation, the Oilers were definitely going to get a 5-on-3.
Well, he bumped into Waugh. Remember, the Avalanche have bumped into Joseph at the other end a couple of times. Be interesting to see what happens to who. I don't think that Edmonton is going to lose their 5-on-3, John. Now that's not the penalty. Here's the penalty here. That's the penalty to Sylvain Lefebvre. John, this is the most aggressive game I've seen Sylvain Lefebvre play in a long time. Left side, here comes Marchand. Patrick goes down and comes right through. And I think Krupp and Marchand are going off. The Avalanche, Lefebvre will get an extra 2. So the Avalanche have had 73 seconds of 5-on-3 power play. They didn't score. A 41-second in the first period, a 32-second here. And now it looks like possibly it is not on the board yet.
Well, this Sunday, round 4 of the 1998 Formula One World Championship comes your way on Fox Sports Net. It's the Grand Prix of San Marino at 5:30 Central, 4:30 Mountain Time. And that is what will happen. A 2-man advantage for the Oilers.
Well, Ron Lowe can't ask for a better opportunity for his hockey club. The Avalanche had 2 chances to put this game. They got a 3-goal game. They didn't do it. Now Edmonton gets their chance to make it a 1-goal game.
Yell on the face-off against Waite. Yell is out there with Kucherov and Miller. And the Oilers control the draw. Karen gets it back on the line to Mironov. Karen to Mironov again. Over to Hammerlick. To the corner for Waite. Out high, Hammerlick now to Mironov. Doesn't shoot it. Down low to Guerin. There's Mironov. Hammerlick a shot, and that was wide. Mironov gets it again. He led the club with 10 power play goals. Into Guerin. 25 to go in the 5-on-3. Guerin again. He scores! Guerin a rocket. His 2nd power play goal of the series.
Well, Guerin has got the first goal for Edmonton in each of the first 2 games, and both times Edmonton has been trailing 2-0, and it's got them back into the game offensively. You can see Guerin waste no time. Was coming across. I mean, that just, there's no way for Patrick Waugh to react. That puck has to hit him. In slow motion, you just don't see the speed. John, that one was in and out of the net before Waugh had any chance to react.
And Guerin gets it his 2nd from Mironov and Hammerlick at 10:53. And that cuts the lead to 2-1. Lefebvre still has 1:20 to go in his minor.
Could this be a big situation?
As Patrick Waugh flips it down the ice. Still a ton of time to go in this one. 8:50 left in the second period. As Hammerlick works at the center ice. And Patrick again stops it. Trying to clear it high. Now to Forsberg around Hammerlick. Great pass to Sakic. In the player. He scores! A short-handed goal!
John, I'm telling you, there is so much hockey talent on this goal. It is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, John, the pass by Forsberg, you can't believe where Forsberg was. He was tied up. Sakic was on the far side. Sakic 60 feet away from him, going full speed. Forsberg leads him with a 100-foot pass that he couldn't walk over and put it in a more perfect spot. And Sakic, once he gets in, bang, top shelf. I mean, that, John, two of the greatest players in the game combined on a goal that everybody should marvel at. Look at Forsberg. Now, he's being punished. Guy's coming across. Man.
A backhand 40-footer. He led Sakic like John Elway. And the captain put it away.
And the speed of Sakic. And now you know why. Sakic was so missed in game one.
Patrick Waugh also gets an assist on that goal. And a big short-handed goal makes it 3-1 for the Avalanche. And they clear it down the ice. 15 to go in Lefebvre's minor. During the regular season, the Avalanche scored 8 short-handed goals. And they get a huge one here to get the momentum back in their favor.
Remember, in the last game when Edmonton scored their power play goal, they went on to score the next 2 goals to win the game. The Avalanche get the next goal in this game.
And they are now back at full strength, and with the tilt, Prime Star another $50 for the Colorado Special Olympics. This will be an icing call against the Avalanche. They are still buzzing about the pass by Forsberg and the goal by Sakic. A short-handed score to make it 3-1 Avalanche.
Your dog, your couch, your toaster, your shoes, your girl, your dinner, your souvenir, your lamp, your 7th grade teacher, your 7th grade fantasy, your soccer ball, your shower curtain, your TV, your sex, your paperweight, your goldfish, your job, your sunglasses, your relationship, your kid's sister, your trash, your life, your car. The Honda Civic. It has you written all over it. Now lease a 98 Civic Coupe for $139 a month for 36 months and a $1,500 down payment.
Viva Gorditas!
John, this is an absolutely blameless goal. No one on Edmonton can get blamed on this play. This is just hockey skill. Forsberg's getting run down. There's all the Edmonton players are right there. On the far side, Sakic has just got that phenomenal speed. Perfect shot. And Patrick Waugh works his way into the scoring race as he picked up his first point of the playoffs.
Here's Sakic again. Oh, Jones is robbed by Joseph. What a save there. Now the puck down low. Jones battles with Deadmarsh against Hammerlick and Musil. Jones doing some good work in front, and Joseph will take no chances and hang on.
There we go. Yep. See, now this is where the referee's doing a good job. Remember we talked about Eric Lacroix taking the penalty? Away from the play. Greer, for no reason, bangs an Avalanche play, and the referee is just said, that's why he had that conversation with the two captains, and I'm going to start picking one guy. And he's done it to both teams here in the second period.
A slashing minor at 13:04. And the Avalanche 1 for 7 on the power play. will get a chance to make it 4-1.
There have been so many times in this game, John, where it seems like, you know, that next goal is going to do so much, but we're still sitting with a next goal hockey game.
Forsberg gets it back to Sakic now for Forsberg. There's Marchand on him. Forsberg has Lemieux in front. Now plays it on the line to Sakic. Over to Forsberg. He's done it again! He has a point on all 6 goals for the Avalanche in this series.
And it's, again, for great players, they seemingly always do something different. And for Forsberg, he's improved in 2 areas. Made great shot selection in the first 2 games. Shot the puck well and hard. And face-offs, John. He's been a dominant factor. As Joseph is screened, good play in front of the net. The Avalanche, good patience. Kaminsky screens. Just a well set up power play goal. But I'll tell you, John, you get back to that short-handed goal. What a momentum changer that was as the Edmonton Oilers are pulling Curtis Joseph. And Bob Essenza will come in for the Edmonton Oilers.
As the Avalanche get a pair of goals in just under 2 minutes. Forsberg from Sakic and Gedmarsh at 13:23. And the Avs have scored 4 goals on 21 shots against Joseph. Remember, Essenza is the guy who came in the last regular season game on March 2nd when the Avs scored 4 against Joseph, and Edmonton came back and won 5-4 in overtime. Essenza played the last regular season game against Toronto last Saturday, a 4-3 Edmonton win. Here's Doug Weight, great feed into Karen, and that was just off his stick. And now Fitzgerald on the board, but Weight gets it. Like a shot goes, Roy got his right shoulder on it and knocked it away.
Looks like Edmonton is going to pick up the physical play here. The defensemen are pinching down as they're trying to put the body on the Avalanche on this chip.
6 to go in the second. It's 4-1 for the Avs. Yell was knocked down. The referee. Fawcett was looking at that, but never made a call. And it comes to center. Kucherov now for Riker. He doesn't get it in deep, and now Yui put back for the Avalanche. Kucherov trying to clear it. Well, with a 3-goal Avalanche lead, they're the largest of the series. Now is the time, Peter, that players have really got to keep their heads up.
You do not want to get too aggressive. You take the shot, you have to. For Edmonton, they're going to try and get something going. They're going to be running around a little bit, trying to maybe draw a penalty from the Avalanche.
Here's Marchand with his great speed. In the clear, hit the goal post. Oh, Marchand hit the near goal post on a cat-like move, and that was a break for Wall in the Avs.
Is he fast? My goodness, he just exploded across the blue line.
Here comes Scott Fraser, and that play is offside. And the Avalanche with a 4-1 lead.
This is the latest video game we're developing, and this is our inspiration, my Volkswagen Jetta. Excellent. When you write code for 15 hours straight, you gotta get out. The Jetta's a real German road car with plenty of room for 4 carbon-based life forms. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and side impact door beams. Because in real life, there is no reset button. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Well, the good news, David, is that we got the bed. But haven't come outside for them for some reason. I need your fist for it. So, talk to these guys. We're not lucky. Tell them we have
people.
Well, before every Avs home playoff game, check out the merchandise tent sale on the Lower East Side of the arena. You can get 20 to 50% off select items like t-shirts, hats, and kids' practice jerseys. Get stocked up on all your favorite Avalanche items. It's 4-1 for the Avs. Forsberg with 2 goals and 2 assists in the game. Hammer like a drive. That was wide. And tipped by Jones near the line. Mironov kept it in there now for Buchberger. And his pass was blocked by Ozolinsh. Now on to Denmark. Denmark's trying to make a move. Get some help. Jones in front. Tipped away but not out. Sakic is there. To the corner for Jones. He's bothered by Hammerlick. Jones goes down. Now in front. Sakic. Oh, what a save. Ozolinsh a drive. Rebound to Denmark. And a couple of great saves by Essenza. And Greer wants a face-off. And play keeps going here. Denmark's trying to get it free. And Oilers players lost his stick. Sakic tried to center it. Now for Kamensky. The Avalanche can smell blood now here in Game 2. Kamensky gets free in front. Fakes it. Never got it away, but kept it in. Into Krupp. Looks to center. And a shot at the back of the goal. And Hammerlick will finally get it out.
The Edmonton did everything they could do to try to freeze that puck. Hammerlick exhausted as he goes to the bench. The Avalanche came oh so close to putting this one completely. Not complete, but getting no carried away, Johnny boy. We're giving themselves a 4-goal lead.
Time now to check out what's on tap, brought to you by Miller Lite. Game 3 on Sunday. Remember the unusual start time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time on UPN 20 on Sunday. By the way, on that last goal by Forsberg, assisted by Sakic, and now Ozolinsh, not Denmark. So Ozolinsh now with 3 assists in this game. So he's having a strong series with 4 assists. And Essens, who's made a couple of huge saves already, holds on.
You're sitting over there at the end of the bench, you know, relaxing, saying, okay, I had a good workout this morning, played hard, come on, Curtis, have a big night tonight. All of a sudden you get the call. And you come out and you face 5 or 6, it looks already, and he's been very sharp. During the regular season, you see at a .500 record. Good numbers, though. 2.55 goals against average, but there's the man, Curtis Joseph. You know he'll be back in nets next game if he doesn't return in this one.
3:10 to play in the second period. The Avalanche with a 4-1 lead. As they've outshot the Oilers 24-13. Here's Bill Guerin on the board. Checked by Aaron Miller, not cleared. And Waugh pokes it away from Waite. Waite gives him a bit of a bump. And the puck carried out by Valerie Kamensky. Nice flip pass to Forsberg. Makes a great move. Now around a man, try to center one. Mironov, a wild whack at it, trying to get it out. And they ice it. And a whistle. Let's go downstairs and check in with Drew Goodman.
All right, John and Peter. Peter Forsberg may be the best player in the world, and people wanted to talk about the hit the other night and the slash by Billy Guerin very late in that hockey game. Peter Forsberg's kind of reluctant when it comes to that type of thing. He'll dish it out and he'll take it, and he worries about playing between the lines. I think a lot of that has to do with how he was brought up with the coach for a father.
He taught him well, didn't he?
He really did. I mean, he gets that look on his face. You have absolutely no idea what's going on back there, how mad he is.
Loose puck in front. Oh, and Fitzgerald had an open net, and Essenza, he dives back and makes a save. Now Fitzgerald out of the corner. The Oilers player has lost his stick. No, an Avalanche player. That was Yale, but he goes to the bench and gets a new one. Mironov goes right up the middle. Here's Eric Lacroix now for Fitzgerald. Bumped with Lucille. With 2 to play in the second period. Now on for Scott Fraser. Dean McCammon trying to walk in. He's run by Lefebvre into the boards. And the puck fired ahead by Sakic, not into the zone. McCammon again. Caught from behind by Sakic, and Reichel gets it back to the neutral zone. And Mironov will tip it back into Avalanche territory. Lefebvre pass to center. Gobbled up Sakic, and Mantel down into Reichel. Top shot, and nearly took Essens' head off with that one. As he let it go from just inside the line.
Well, the sniper got Mironov, who just fell down as he turned to go back. And Sakic made a nice play to just chip it by.
Now taken by Mats Lindgren. Over to Tony Herkett. Right wing pass, no one is there. Now the Oilers down low. Lindgren with a minute to go in the second period. Upended by Jari Kurri. Here's Buchberger. But Curry steps in front of Herkes, and here's a 3-on-2 rush. Curry, great feed into Denmark. In front! Oh, and Krug darting into the offensive zone, got the pass, and nearly stuffed it by Essens.
Curry makes a good play at the blue line. Denmark makes a great play. Krug makes a great play joining the rush, but it's been Essenza since he came in, who's been absolutely magnificent. The Avalanche have been just every shift, it seems, just rushing, getting at least one scoring chance. What a job by Essenza. And if Edmonton is to mount any sort of comeback in this game, it'll be these last 5 minutes in this second period where he has just stood so tall. Good look at Jari Kurri. How many great games did he have with these Edmonton Oilers?
Here's Aaron Miller off the face-off. Third around the boards, Guerin. And back for his teammate Doug Weight. Now to Dallas, lost it. Kamensky picks it up. The left point to Lefebvre. The shot blocked in front. Now to the corner. Lemieux is on it. For Forsberg. Off the back of the goal. What a move. In front. And intercepted by Edmonton. And played to center ice. Forsberg is in the zone. And no one is even close at this point. A shot on wall by Weight, and he hangs on.
It's got to be if you're an Edmonton Oilers defenseman right now, it's just got to be one of those, okay, I'll go out there, but do I have to against Forsberg? Because he's making those kind of plays that are so spectacular. In behind, I mean, he uses the net to beat the Edmonton Oilers defenseman. The defenseman comes in and he's trying to stay on him. I mean, you know, it's just magnificent play. But then, John, at the other end, we look at it again. Dougie Weight made a good move and was flying through, and Patrick makes a good save. Would that have been a big goal for Edmonton to get this back to a 2-goal game with only 4 seconds to go?
And a big face-off with 4.2 to go. Fitzgerald gets it from Marchand. He won it cleanly, and that is going to do it. The end of the second period. As McCammon and Krug do some pushing at the end of the period.
Well, Edmonton just looking to give themselves a spark. They know, I mean, if this game happens to be over, you're still looking at least another 3 games. So nobody is going to give an inch the rest of the way.
That's the end of the second period. With the score, the Avalanche 4, the Oilers 1. Now for a look at what's ahead on Fox Sports News after the game. Let's go to the Fox Network Center.
Now, K-Swiss presents this Fox Sports News Sports Break.
Along with Lionel Bienvenu, I'm John Walls of Fox Sports News with this Sports Break. Phillies closer Ricky Bottalico will have surgery to remove a bone chip in his right elbow. He's going to miss at least 6 weeks.
The Raiders have told cornerback Larry Brown to look for another team. Brown's number 24 has already been reassigned to Charles Woodson. News and highlights nightly on Fox Sports News.
Right here on Fox Sports Net.
There's a place where you don't have to play the game to win. Where you belong to your ambition, and nothing else matters. There's a place where you can do what you love and love what you do. No limits. Welcome to the club. Hey, Swiss.
Bad news, love. We're splitting us up for this mission.
How tragic.
Don't worry, though. I got you this Subaru Forester.
A sport utility.
Not just any sport utility. Observe. A lower rear end that's easy to load, easy to get into as well, all with a smooth car-like ride.
Of course, I know it'll be rough without me around, but I'm sure you'll get used to it.
Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough. Car easy.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a million-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with. Ask your employer about workplace giving.
You're watching Colorado Avalanche hockey on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
Four to one after 2 periods of play. The Avalanche lead by 3 goals. Drew Goodman downstairs, joined by Sylvain Lefebvre. And this has been a physical game, and this is as physical as I can remember you're playing some time.
Well, we know they have a fast team, and the way to counter them is to hit them and have some good body check and legally, and make sure that they don't get by us, and try to stand them up because they have a lot of speed.
I thought you set the tempo for this game with a hit on Frazier early in the first period. Tell us about it.
Well, just before that play, I went to hit him, and he put his stick up and almost got it in the face, and I didn't like it, so I wanted to get back at him, and he had his head down going to get the puck on the side of the boards, and I just hammered him. I didn't think it was a penalty, but what can you do?
When you're not on the ice and number 21 is, do you become a fan?
I do. I was in the penalty box for the last Joe Sackett's goal, and what a pass he made. This guy, every time we watch him play, he comes up with something new, and that's why he's so great.
2 periods done. Congratulations on that, but you have a big one in the third, obviously.
Big third. We're leading 4-1, and we want to be able to play well with the score, and that's one thing we didn't do well in game 1. So we want to do a great job in the third period and make sure that they don't get any chances.
Sylvain, thanks for spending some time. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
All right, that's Sylvain Lefebvre, 4-1. The Avalanche leading the Edmonton Oilers through 2 periods of play.
Our most powerful computers use trillions and trillions of ones and zeros to extract 200 horsepower from just 2.7 liters of aluminum, to balance the equation of driving comfort and driving exhilaration, to create abundant space within a slippery cab-forward shape. Then, with just 3 digits, we made it affordable. The new Dodge Intrepid, 34 trillion bytes to build it, $289 a month to lease it.
Fuel for thought number 496. A little something to think about on the road. Your Total card now works at Diamond Shamrock. And your Diamond Shamrock card now works at Total, which means you'll never have to turn left into a Total when you can turn right into a Diamond Shamrock, and vice versa. Now with over 350 locations, no matter where you are in Colorado, you'll have 2 ways to go, and they'll always be right. It's just fuel for thought. Diamond Shamrock and Total. now more than ever, all you need.
How convenient is it to bank at First Bank? How about over 150 First Teller ATM locations, including all King Superstores? And over 70 locally owned First Bank locations, with more on the way. Then there's 24-hour telephone banking, so you can open an account or even apply for a new loan right over the phone. You can't get more convenient than First Bank. Check them out.
First Bank, Colorado Bank for you.
Budget now rents Jaguars and other diversions. Budget, get out of the ordinary. Now join Perfect Drive and earn a free Callaway Golf Club with just 5 rentals.
What is it about leather? You need beautiful lines to pull it off. Meet the limited edition Mazda 626. Now in leather. Luxuriously loaded at just $239 a month. It's time to get into leather. Lease a Mazda 626 leather edition for just $239 a month, but only for a limited time.
The Avalanche 2/3 of the way to evening the series with Edmonton. They lead the Oilers 4-1 in Game 2 of the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Coaches like to say in the playoffs, your great players have to play great. Well, tonight, Peter Forsberg and Joe Sakic, the two biggest stars for the Avalanche, along with Patrick Roy, have been nothing short of spectacular. In fact, Forsberg, on the 6 playoff goals thus far, he scored 2 of them. He has, 3 of them now, and he's assisted on the other 3. Let's check out the action from around the league on our budget NHL scoreboard. New Jersey evens their series with the Ottawa Senators. They win tonight by a count of 3-1. Dougie Gilmour picked up his 2nd and 3rd goals of the playoffs in that one. Philadelphia wins 3-2. They beat Dominik Hasek tonight. They even that series at 1 apiece. Eric Lindros a goal, Chris Croton a goal, and John LeClair, who had more than 50 during the regular season, also had a goal in that one. Boston evens their series. It took 2 overtimes. Raymond Bourque a couple of assists. Jason Allison had a goal and 2 assists in that one for the Bruins. 5-2. Dallas opens up a 2-love lead over the San Jose Sharks. They win by 3 goals tonight, despite playing without Joe Nieuwendyk. Darian Hatcher had a couple of goals in that one for the Stars. Detroit loses at the Joe, and they give up 7 goals in the process, 7-4. Phoenix wins it. Jeremy Roenick with a couple of goals. Rick Tocchet with a couple of goals. In a losing effort, Sergei Fedorov had his 3rd of the playoffs. 4-1, the Avalanche leading Edmonton after 2.
My friends say I'm one of the guys. I guess because I drive a pickup. Only difference is, my Ford Ranger's a lot tougher looking and more powerful than their foreign trucks. And it's got shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive. So when the snow's deep, I'm the first one there. But hey, just like all the guys I know, I'm into saving money. And I did with a killer deal from my Rocky Mountain Ford dealer. So yeah, maybe I am one of the guys. Nah.
It's not a lumber yard. It's not a lighting store. It's not a garden center or carpeting store. What is it?
It's Home Base, and it'll change the way you think about home improvement.
Everything you need from free and-home design consultation to delivery and installation to base buys. You'll find at Home Base. Our expert staff is happy to help with that small part or that big idea. And now there are wider, brighter aisles for quick, easy shopping. Go to the base, Home Base. We've got all the bases covered.
Please, don't drive drunk.
You don't have to like me.
Or you can.
You don't have to be my friend, but you might like me if you got to know me.
You don't have to be my roommate.
I am going to be your neighbor. You don't have to run with me.
You really don't have to run away from me.
You may not like what I have to say.
But hear me.
Hear me out. And we're not all that different. I like good food.
Good music.
I love my mom.
I want to fall in love.
Madly.
I want a good job.
I want my kids to live in a world
where they're safe and loved and respected for who they are.
You don't have to like me, but if you talk to me,
You might.
we can end prejudice if we talk to each other. Call.
Tell us what you do.
Together we can build one America.
You're watching Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
The Avalanche have outshot the Edmonton Oilers 2-1, 28-14 of the game, and they have a 4-1 lead through 40 minutes of play. Curtis Joseph was pulled by Ron Lowe late in the second period. Bob Essenza came in, and he saw a flurry of rubber right at him. And I'll tell you what, if he wasn't on his game, it might be 6-1 right now. For more, let's go upstairs. John Kelly and Peter McNabb. Gentlemen.
All right, Drew, thank you very much. The superstars for the Avalanche have been dominant tonight, led by Forsberg.
Yeah, Peter Forsberg has been fabulous in tonight's game. And Sakic showed why he is so valuable. He had that one great opportunity, cashes in on a shorthanded goal, maybe the key moment in this game.
Let's get to some of the highlights from that second period. It was a tough one.
There was a lot of hitting. There was a lot of play. Tough play in front of them. This was the only time that there were fights. Reichel and Mironov, we saw Foot and DeVries right there. Lacroix was cut. Joseph doesn't look like he wanted to come out here, John. This is after Forsberg's second goal that made it 4-1. And then he comes off, but being the competitor that he is, he did not want to leave the net. But Peter Forsberg, this is the kind of game that Forsberg is throwing at the Edmonton Oilers tonight. I mean, he's doing that. He's drawing penalties. I mean, he has been simply Peter Forsberg all night long.
And our first bank scoring summary. Guerin got the Oilers on the board, a power play goal during a 5-on-3.
And this looked like everybody in the building is going, oh my goodness, we're going to have it happen again. Remember, the Avalanche were ahead 2-0 last game before Guerin made it 2-1, and the Oilers eventually won the game.
But the key goal in the hockey game by Sakic, a shorthanded goal on a great feed from Forsberg.
And look at the names that combine in this goal. Sakic from Forsberg and Waugh. What a play by Forsberg. Just lays it out. And you know, you just can't give Joe Sakic those breakaways. He has been deadly this season on those one-on-one plays.
And then the final goal on the power play, Forsberg simply shot the puck and got his 4th of the series.
And he's been shooting in 5 shots last game. Every time he's had an opportunity, he has been taking good shots, good, quick shots. And right there, that's the one that chased Joseph and sent him to the bench.
And our new Dodge second period numbers.
The face-offs are key. 32-17 for the Avalanche. Scoring chances, again, the Avalanche doing a good job defensively, but getting their scoring chances.
So it's a big lead for the Avalanche. Thanks to that guy. 2-2 already. He's had a point on every goal in the series for the Avalanche.
This is the Chevy S-10. This is what Consumers Digest thinks of the S-10. This is how to make a Best Buy even better. Up to $1,500 cash back on select S-10s, or 1.9% APR. Some believe in individuality at any price. So how about at a great price? Get to your Chevy dealer and check out a Chevy S-10.
Well, my Discover card statement reads like a wish list.
What?
Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golf game. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. The best thing you can do with your Discover card cashback bonus is give it straight to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's what I do.
It pays to Discover. Call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the nervous sign.
The gap seems to have closed. Formula One on Fox Sports Net. Ferrari's Michael Schumacher broke through the McLaren stranglehold. Now it's San Marino's turn. The San Marino Grand Prix, Sunday at 4:30 on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
the NHL playoffs.
I've been in these types of games before.
Join Craig Simpson for the inside view only a pro knows.
Picture perfect play.
The quest for the cup.
Right now.
Fox Sports News prime time, weeknights at 10.
East Asia's in financial crisis. But let's not forget, no group of countries has ever reduced poverty so much, so fast in human history. Living standards quadrupled in a generation. We must help protect the success story and its virtues, engagement in the world, hard work, and high savings rates. We know what went wrong. Too many cases of weak banks, flawed policies, poor regulation, and lack of openness. These mistakes must be corrected, and the investment in people must be saved. That means building on the gains in education and health care. Not just for the 350 million still living in deep poverty, but for all those who now risk slipping back. Let's fight this together. The World Bank, knowledge and resources for change.
You're watching Colorado Avalanche hockey on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain.
Colorado Avalanche hockey on Fox Sports Rocky Mountain is brought to you by the new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you. First Bank, the Colorado Bank for you. Miller Lite, the official beer of the Avalanche. And by Stevenson Lexus and Cooney Lexus, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. Back in Denver, ready for the third period. A 4-1 Avalanche lead. Of course, Forsberg has dished out a lot of hits, a lot of points. And we talked to him a bit earlier tonight about the physical play in this series.
First game of the, series is always going to be physical. And I think, we kind of expected it's going to be physical out there. And maybe not more than we expected. We played good for a while. And during that time, I think they had a hard time catching us. So we'll see what's going to happen tonight. I'm expecting as physical as last game.
Well, good predicting by Peter Forsberg.
He knows his hockey. But Forsberg's had the big night, John. But you look around the National Hockey League, it's been interesting. Boston wins 4-3. Their star, Allison, comes up with a goal and 2 assists, 3 points. Philadelphia wins 3-2. Lindros gets a goal and an assist. New Jersey wins 3-1. Gilmore gets 2 goals and an assist. Phoenix beats Detroit. Roenick gets 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Dallas beats San Jose. Zubov gets 3 assists.
In that Dallas game, Madonna didn't have a point and they scored 5 goals.
But the big guys came up with big games around the league tonight.
None bigger than Forsberg, at least so far. Forsberg on the ice. Kamensky wide open. He scores! Kamensky gets to second, and Forsberg has 5 points.
Which our crack stat crew has told us ties a franchise record for most points in a playoff game.
Well, speaking of big nights, he's now getting close to Jeff Courtnall-like numbers.
That is, in my imagination, it seems like there's been more scoring so far in the playoffs than during the regular season. What a play. Man.
And another early goal in a period for the Avalanche.
Now, the Avalanche have now scored goals in 5 of the 6 periods that they played in. The only period that they haven't scored in is the first period of Game 1.
Kamensky gets his second of the evening from Forsberg. 30 seconds to time, and Forsberg now with 2 goals and 3 assists. And a point on every goal, 7 in this series. And the Avalanche have opened a 5-1 lead. And Fraser for the Oilers. Into McCammon. He was slowed down by Aaron Miller. Sackett the other way to Fitzgerald. And now the Oilers take over in their own zone.
And for the Avalanche, they get Adam Foote back for this third period.
As Fraser lets a backhand go, and Waugh made the save. And Denmark shovels it in. Again, the 5 points by Forsberg ties a franchise record. Originally set by Aristo Siltanen. Here's a shot on Essenza. He goes down and hangs on.
The one thing for the Avalanche this does do, unless there's a lot more penalties, it gets the chance for them to use a lot of the players. Forsberg's already played in this game coming into this period 17 minutes. And Mark Crawford does not like to play him more than about 25. So he'll be able to keep him under that number.
I was going to ask you about the way the Avalanche might use their bench. You would think Mark would go to a 4-line rotation with a 5-1 lead.
Four-line rotation. 3 sets of 2 defensemen, just keep rolling them out.
Here's Tony Herkes on a face-off against Jari Kurri. And Herkes up for Ryan Smith. Had 20 goals during the regular season in the book burner. Has a lane, a shot, saved by Waugh, and the rebound was stopped by Waugh off Greg DeVries, a defenseman. What a save there. Herkes now for Edmonton. Into Smith. That blast hit the left toe of Waugh. And the rebound gobbled up by Gusarov and played to center. Now Musil in his own line for Hammerlick. The Avalanche making a line change, and Lemieux just on the ice. Gets the puck near the Oiler line, but Hammerlick has it there. Forsberg knocks it down. And that pass picked off by Mats Lindgren. Kieran trying to walk in on left wing. His dump in was blocked. And now Forsberg to center for Lemieux. Here's Adam Foote. Again, missed most of the second period with 15 minutes of penalties. Kremensky with a pair of goals. Near the line, in for Foote. Down low to Lemieux. Back on the line to Foote. Brister was wide. Here's Kamensky trying to center one. Now Lemieux to the corner. He bumped with a Hammerlick. And it comes free to Doug Weight. 3:15 gone in the third. The Avalanche with a 5-1 lead. And Hammerlick fires in. Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, except for the Dallas series, of all the series so far that have gone 2 games, they're all 1-1.
I think so, yeah. My mind doesn't work that quick, but...
For 1998, the Lexus LS400 comes equipped with an innovative vehicle skid control system, helping you maintain control even when the environment turns a bit hostile. Chase down a great value today at Cooney Lexus and Stevenson Lexus.
We asked Catherine and David Martin to lend us their answering machine and try the US West voice messaging service. Catherine was thrilled because now she can talk on the phone and still get messages. David was delighted because now he can get messages without worrying about broken tapes or muffled messages. So it's no surprise that when we tried to return their old machine, they didn't seem a bit interested. US West. Life's better here.
The NHL on Fox moves to Sunday for the playoffs. This Sunday, catch the Red Wings as they travel to Phoenix to take on the Cactus Boys in Game 3 of that Western Conference Series. Sunday at 2 Central, 1 Mountain Time on Fox. And of course, after that game, the Avalanche will play a 4 o'clock game in Edmonton. That will be shown on UPN 20 again, 4 o'clock Mountain Time, Game 3, the Avs and Oilers. And it looks like by a miracle comeback, it'll go back to Edmonton 1-1. 16:05 to go in regulation time. There's the puck around the boards, now taken by Denmark to center. Here's Jones sweeping the puck in there. And Mironov at his own line now for Greg Berehowski. Roseland cuts it off. He has had a big night with 3 assists. Peter, what kind of statement do you think the Oilers are going to try and make in this third period?
Well, I was just supposed to say, John, so far it doesn't seem as if they're going to go and play a physical brand of hockey. I haven't seen anybody, running after an Avalanche, trying to punish them, trying to get things started. They may just be sticking with their game plan. They felt worked in game 1, and then you got to deal with the fact that you got to stop Forsberg next game.
Time now for our Volkswagen hardest driver.
Well, started right off the bat for Adam Foote as he drove towards the net in the first period, drew a penalty. The Avalanche scored their first goal, and it continued with hits like this tonight as he takes Dean McCammon into the end boards. Adam Foote, our hardest driver, even though he spent 15 minutes in the dressing room relaxing in that second period after he had a little altercation.
You mentioned the Oilers and what they might do in game 3 to stop Forsberg. You've got to wonder if they might resort to going to some kind of shadow against Forsberg. We haven't seen that except for perhaps the first ever series with the Avalanche against Vancouver when Tikkanen, I believe, was the man who shadowed Forsberg for 3 or 4 games.
The Tikkanen is a different type of player. Tikkanen is big and very, very experienced at doing it. And, he's got bad knees and couldn't keep up with Forsberg. But, John, again, that's Peter Forsberg of 2 years ago. In his first real playoff experience in those kind of situations, Peter Forsberg is a much more mature hockey player now. It would be interesting to see who they would pick for that chore, because that would be a real tough task. And, John, I think it comes down to more a group of defensemen and maybe 1 or 2 forwards to try to slow down Forsberg.
Last night in Pittsburgh, the Canadians, who won in overtime, put a defenseman, Zarley Zalapski, on Jaromir Jagr, and did a pretty good job.
Did a real good job until late.
All right, what do you got? Lots of time. 5 minutes gone, third period. The Avalanche with a 5-1 lead, and this is an icing call. Again, Forsberg has gone to the locker room with a skate problem as we check out these numbers.
Ever since we've gone, 1994, they went to this conference idea. The divisional championships are divisional champions are 1 and 2, so we had a 1 through 8. And look at the second one, 2 versus 7. That's where all the upsets, or the majority of the upsets have happened. Only 4 of 8 series has the number 2 seed beat the number 7 seed. So that's the danger spot. And remember, that's where the Avalanche came into this one against Edmonton. And that's where Edmonton upset Dallas last year at 2 versus 7.
Logically, you would think the 4 spot would be the most vulnerable.
Right, because that's 4 and 5, the 2 closest match clubs over the course of the regular season. The Avalanche on the road for the next game. Look at Stanley Cup champions over the course of the last 5 years, John. You have to play well on the road. You look at those numbers. The most losses any club has had is 3. If you're going to march in the stands. But look at New Jersey that 1 year, John. 10 and 1 on the road. Were they a smart hockey team? They made so few mistakes.
Penalty coming up here against the Avalanche. As Essenza goes off for the extra man. And now Miller touches it. And a call against the Avs. Last year, the Avalanche were 2 and 6 on the road. Although they did win one of those 2 games in Edmonton. So Forsberg goes for slashing.
Peter Forsberg, number 21. He and Lindgren get tied up. Forsberg gives the back of his pants a little tap. Off he goes. So I think the referee has done a good job tonight. And this is a game that could have gotten completely out of hand. There's been a lot of power plays and odd man situations, but I mean, he's stuck to his guns and he's called it right from the start of the game, right through the early part of this third period, very closely.
The Oilers are 1 for 7 on the power play. There's Wall. Oh, gives it up here. Kieran centers it. And a wide open net. But the Avalanche were there to cover up. Now taken by Herkus, back of the line to Hammerleck for Herkus. He walks in, left point to Waite. Hammerleck with it. Can't get a shot. Now to the corner, Guerin. Oh, he high sticks at him, foot. Play goes on. Waite a shot, blocked by foot. And gets it out to Curry, who shovels it down the ice. 50 gone in Forsberg's minor. 13:35 to go, third period. 5-1 for the Avalanche. Here's Ryan Smith. Tripped up, no call. Todd Marchand has it for the Oilers. Left point to Hammerleck. Lets it go, and a pad save by Waugh. Fraser with it on the near side. Feeds Waite in the right point. High shot and a save by Waugh. And he hangs on.
John, this is an interesting save because Smith is coming in screening. He ducks. Patrick Waugh has to basically believe that he has followed the trajectory of the puck perfectly. It's going to go into his glove. Watch Patrick Waugh. Waugh's on your right side of your screen. Smith comes through. And Patrick, he just kept his glove right where he thought the puck was going to be because Smith comes through and takes his line of sight away. I thought that was going to hit him in the head.
40 left in the power play. DeVries, number 5. He keeps it in now for Fraser. Down low to Dean McCammon. Back for Fraser. Here's DeVries for Boris Mironov. That shot was blocked. Now McCammon gets it. Out of the corner, a shot. Owen Waugh got his left arm on it. And it goes over the goal. 15 to go in the power play. Mironov gets it to the corner. Miller is on it for the Avalanche. Battles with Fraser. Marchand gets the puck. Feeds a man in front. Mironov a chance and a save by Waugh. Taken again by Scott Fraser. Forsberg is back on the ice. Here's a shot on goal. Saved by Waugh. And the rebound is knocked away. And the Avalanche have killed it off. And now Lefebvre gives McCammon a shot.
Well, Patrick Waugh continues to play well in tonight's game.
For an unprecedented 3 years in a row, Dodge Ram has received J.D. Power & Associates Appeal Award as the most appealing full-size pickup. And because Ram owners rate it this high, we're celebrating with a rate this low. Now lease a Dodge Ram with a Magnum V8 automatic and air for just $259 a month. Or buy a Ram for as little as $15,125. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
This place is going bananas. The chiropractor with a clothesline. Ouch! Low blow. What is this? Oh my, a boot right between the eyes. Where are the referees? This is unbelievable. It's over. Now let's go get it right all over. Punching the doggies is gone. My legs are a-aching. My back feels like breaking. Fills my heart like the sun.
Tonight's Subaru game summary. The Avalanche with a 4-goal lead, and Forsberg has tied a franchise record with 5 points. And Patrick Waugh has been solid in goal.
And he's also picked up an assist in tonight's game. I think if the game continues like this, it's going to be the goal. It's talked about, one, because of the way it was set up. Forsberg packed the second. But it also, the third goal of the game, shorthanded, it was right after Edmonton had made the score 2-1. They still had Lefebvre in the box for a power play for Edmonton. If they had scored there, then now you got a tied hockey game and everybody's going to be worried again. Suddenly it's 3-1. The Avalanche got a power play goal right after that. And they've just picked it up since then.
Teams are at full strength here. Mironov cuts behind the goal. Back to Buchberger and tipped away. A good job by Eric Lacroix. And the puck to the center ice area, played back in, offside by Buchberger. The Avalanche, prior to the loss in Game 1, since moving to Denver, were 5-1 when hosting at Game 1. The only time they had lost prior to Game 1 of this series was when they lost to Chicago in the second round in '96, 3-2 in overtime. They came back and won Game 2 in that series by a score of 5-1.
Which made that series against Chicago, John, I mean, the series against Detroit have been emotional, but that was a great series. I mean, we could be looking at that kind of series here because both of these teams skate so well.
Oh, Denmark's got that dump in right, it looked like on the chin, and he goes off, although it did not appear to be cut. Troop around on the boards. DeVries knocked Jones down. Bookberger against Troop. They battle down low. Here's Lindgren off the boards for Bookberger. Upended by Ozelin. Centers it, but Troop is in the right spot. And here comes the center, and Troop goes down as Lindgren hooked him, and then Troop gave him a bit of a face walk. Here's Yari Curry from center ice. And Essens made the save, or rather, it is Essens in goal. Pardon me, I thought it was Joseph back in there for a moment, but Essens is in there. He took over after Forsberg made it 4-1 at 13:23. Now the second period. Now the Avalanche had 3 men in the corner, and the puck is taken away from Reichel and lobbed to center ice. Jeff Odgers there for the Avalanche. Now to Sakic. Comes free in the middle. Gusarov will tip it into the zone. And Essens had to be alert. Now to Doug Waite. Here comes Garrett. Left it for Dallas. A shot, and that was wide. And Ryan Smith pokes it back to the near corner. Taken by Sakic. Waite intercept, drops it back, but it got between Hammerlick and Musil. And now the Avalanche making a change as Adam Foote and Waite get together.
And it'll be Waite that goes off. Well, Waite and Foote. Dougie Waite will be a restricted free agent at the end of this year. Is going to be he's going to be an interesting person, John, as far as does somebody make a big offer. He could be this year's Joe Sakic as far as somebody making a big time deal. And I mean a big time deal. This is a guy with enormous skills. He and Foote build a lot alike. Adam maybe a little bit bigger, but they're both so strong.
So a power play for the Avalanche. They have scored a couple of power play goals. And they continue the conversation long distance. To get those guys some cell phones so they can
continue the conversation. They look like they want to talk to each other.
There's Krupp and Ozelin on defense here. Up front, Jones, Lacroix, and Denmark. Shoveled in by Krupp. Essens to the corner. Hammerlick trying to get it out. Krupp on the line. That was popped up in the air, and Hammerlick now to center for Marchand. He was run by Eric Lacroix. And it goes back in the zone for Keith Jones. 35 gone on the power play. Ozelin rips it in. Denmark kicks the puck to the slot. And swept away by a diving Kelly Bookberger.
It just seems as though any thought that Edmonton coming out with a strong third period were taken away by Kaminsky's goal right off the bat here in the third.
And the intensity and the pace has slowed quite a bit since that goal. As Ozelin finds Forsberg down the board.
For the Avalanche. And we have a call, I believe, on Colorado. Perhaps for holding the stick.
Well, John, the Edmonton Oilers players said that the first 10 minutes of the hockey game, the Avalanche took it to them physically. Then they responded, and they thought they played well. But by then, they felt it was maybe too late. so they did not want to come out here in Game 3 and have the same thing happen.
And it's against Forsberg. Did he hit the goalpost on this shot?
I think he's the far side of the post. But there's been all kinds of comparisons in a city that had Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky. They're calling Peter Forsberg a combination of the two.
Well, the Oilers in the first 2 games, 3 of 17 on the power play. They were 2 for 10 in Game 2. Oilers get the game's first man advantage. In front, a shot by Berehowski, and that was blocked by Stefan Yell. And the puck goes out of play.
Well, for Patrick Waugh, win number 97 of his playoff career. That's the most any goaltender has ever had in the history of this league. And he always seems to be able to pick it up to another notch come playoff time.
Now Marchand on the faceoff. He is between Fraser and McCammon. Fitzgerald trying to clear it. Held in by the Oilers. Now fired down the ice. Yanni Niedema, number 24 on defense for Edmonton. Remember, missed Game 2 with a concussion. He is back tonight. No score early. And the pass picked off by the veteran Jari Kurri. And now grabbed by Niedema. He had 4 shots and was +2 in Game 1. McCammon blocked in front of backhander, and that was wide. 45 to go in the power play. Niedema, the ex-Flyer, into Marchand, right point Berehowski, and that was blocked by Yell with his leg, kept in by the Oilers, but now Yell picks his pocket, and he clears it down the ice.
Great penalty kill by Stefan Yell. He blocked 2 shots, got the puck, dug it out of the zone, gets it all the way down at the other end.
Nearly 2 minutes gone in the first period, no score. Waite flies to center, 45 to go in the power play. Waugh missed it back there, now taken by Ryan Smith on the line to Mironov. Shot right on goal, and a save by Waugh. Hammerlick gets it. That shot ducked through, and again Waugh the save, and Sakic clears it ahead to Deadmarsh. Hammerlick has lost his stick here, and Deadmarsh goes right at him. Now in front, backhander and a save by Joseph. And the rebound is picked up by Ryan Smith. Here comes Waite again. Working on Gusarov, and Waugh pokes one to the corner, and Gusarov goes high in the air and down the ice. 10 to go in Forsberg minors. Hammerlick has a new stick. Now for Mironov. And a bouncer ends up in the corner. Krupp will get to it. But knocked down by Guerin. Now for Rem Murray. Krupp again for the Avs. And Forsberg is back on the ice, so the Avalanche have killed it off. And the Oilers are now 3 for 18 on the power play in this series. No score as Lefebvre lobs it in. And Joseph will hang on. And we get a whistle. So a good early penalty kill by the Avalanche. And we are 0-0 here in the first period.
Nothing catches your eye like the more luxurious 200 horsepower Accord V6. An Accord like no other.
We asked Catherine and David Martin to lend us their answering machine and try the US West voice messaging service. Catherine was thrilled because now she can talk on the phone and still get messages. David was delighted because now he can get messages without worrying about broken tapes or muffled messages. So it's no surprise that when we tried to return their old machine, they didn't seem a bit interested. US West. Life's better here.
And today's injury report brought to you by your Rocky Mountain Ford dealers.
Well, for the Colorado Avalanche, Rene Corbet will be out 4 to 6 weeks, which means the Avalanche would at least have to get to the conference finals before Corbet would have any chance of returning.
Forsberg wins the faceoff. Oh, Krupp a shot. And a good stick save by Joseph. By the way, with that last penalty kill, Prime Star donates $50 to the Colorado Special Olympics. And a shot by Nienema, turned away by Waugh. And Forsberg to center, cut off by Frank Musil. And the Oilers drop it back in their own zone. And again, Nienema now for Musil. Blocked at center by Lemieux. This is Kamensky. He was hit. Lemieux tried to charge in, but he was slowed down by Musil. And Guerin goes up the middle, and the Oilers take an icing call if Waugh doesn't touch it, and he doesn't, so icing call.
John, we talk an awful lot about how good the ice is here, and it makes for such a fast hockey game. Both of these clubs practiced here yesterday. Edmonton left right after the game, got in real late, but they practiced yesterday afternoon. The Avalanche left about 11 o'clock yesterday, got into town, came right to the rink, and we watched both teams practice. And John, the speed was unbelievable. And you could just feel that both teams were up and ready for this game today.
Two of the quickest teams, Ron Lowe, of course, the head coach of the Oilers, now in his 4th year. He spent 6.5 years as an assistant coach here at Edmonton. So he paid his dues, the former goaltender who once played for the Quebec Nordiques.
And there was a lot of heat on him early.
Here's a shot by Krupp. They score! Tipped in, I believe, by Deadmarsh. And the Avalanche get a big face-off. They've owned the face-offs in the series, and it's 1-0.
One of the most dominant areas for the Avalanche this playoff series has been face-offs, which weren't a real strength for them during the regular season. But the Avalanche, with Joe Sakic back in the lineup, just flat win the draw. Anytime you win it that clean, good things are going to happen. I think, as you mentioned, John, Deadmarsh may have tipped it. He certainly was a screen on the play at least, as Sakic picks up his 3rd point now since returning to the lineup last game.
So the Avalanche, like they have in every game in this series, have scored the first goal. Well, they give the goal to Krupp, but I believe it hit Deadmarsh. Sakic gets the assist on the goal at 3:50. And it's 1-0 Colorado. As Hammerlick works it ahead and to center ice. Now Aaron Miller over to Lefebvre. Long pass. Reichel, I think, knocked it down with a high stick. And we get a stoppage in play. Peter, this has been a story this year between the Avalanche and Oilers. Colorado, in the regular season in 6 games, outscored Edmonton 6-1 in the first period. And counting this goal, it's 3-0 in this series in the first period.
Yeah, if there's been a constant so far in this playoff series, the early parts of periods, watch the shot. Can't quite see, but it seemed to hit something on the way through. But the Avalanche, be it the first, second, or third period of the hockey games, have come out early. The better hockey club, a little more jump, and Edmonton's regrouped in certain periods, but they have been outplayed in the first 5 minutes, I think, of each period.
On the line, Bobby Dallas, a shot, and that was blocked by Adam Foote. And Forsberg kicks it ahead, and here comes Odgers with Reichel and Forsberg. Reichel against Berehowski, now picked up by Odgers. Cycles it back for Reichel. He had a goal called back in game 2. Now Odgers bumped by Mike Greer. A couple of heavyweights there. Forsberg trying to work away from Dallas, showing his size and strength. Now Forsberg spins around to Reichel. Kept in by Ozil. Penalty coming up here against Edmonton. As Greer touches it, and a cross-checking minor on the Oilers. Well, Peter, a streak has come to an end. We know Forsberg did not get a point on that first goal.
He was not on the ice, so he couldn't have got his 8th point on the Avalanche's 8th goal of this series. But, you know, this is an interesting line that Mark Crawford throws out. You've got Forsberg with Lemieux and Kamensky. Everybody knows about that line, but he's also makes it tough for Ron Lowe, because when he throws him out with this line with Reichel and Odgers, it's a whole different look. All 3 of them bang, play tough down low. So you've got to, for a second time, you've got to match a line that Peter Forsberg is centering.
Well, it looked like from that replay that Dallas cross-checked Forsberg, but Greer goes off at 5:03.
Greer cross-checked Odgers right in front of the net.
So they called one and let the other go. And the Oilers cleared down the ice. The Avalanche in this series are 3 for 14 on the power play. They had 2 goals on 10 chances in game 2. 1-0 here on the goal by Krupp from Sakic. Kamensky gets free at center. He dropped it back. Forsberg missed it. And the Oilers' Todd Marchand will roll it down the ice. Mark Crawford was very happy with his club's performance on the power play in game 2. Sakic gets the puck to center. Rink wide to Ozolic. He had 3 assists in the last game, but he slowed himself a bit and put the play offside with 1:21 to go in the power play.
It's amazing how much better you feel about your power play when you add Joe Sakic to the unit. I mean, Sakic just brings so much to the Colorado Avalanche. For Peter Forsberg, John, since returning from that groin injury that everybody was so worried about at the end of the season, look at Forsberg numbers. And that's not including the last goal. 12 of the last 16 goals that the Avalanche have scored, Peter Forsberg has been in on.
14:18 to go in the opening period. 1-0 for the Avalanche. 1:15 to go in Greer's minor. Ozolic and Krupp on defense here. Up front, Jones, Deadmarsh, and Lacroix. Good pass by Krupp in for Deadmarsh. Can't get around the man, but Ozolic is there. Had it knocked away by Buchberger and down the ice.
And for the Avalanche, you know, when they're at their best, this second line, so-called second line with Sakic, Jones, and Deadmarsh are effective offensively, and that's what we've seen so far in this game.
Now Jones gets it with 45 to go in the man advantage, drives it in. Deadmarsh, quick shot. That goes wide. Lindgren trying to clear it, and he gets some help and some support from Mironov, and down the ice it goes. 30 to go in the power play. Now it's Lefebvre and Miller on defense here. Sakic up front. He gets the pass and works it in now to Miller. Sakic back to the goal. Now Yari Curry on the far side. Oilers try to clear it away, and Rim Murray, who was a healthy scratch in game 2, does get the puck to center ice. Now 5 to go in the power play. Miller, good feed to Curry. Doesn't dump it in. And here's Miller, but Greer is back on, so both clubs are 0 for 1 in the power play in this game. And tipped in by Curry. Joseph has to play it in the last second as Reichel was in there. That would have been an icing call. And now we'll get one at the other end as Gusarov goes back. And Reichel and Berehowski get their sticks up as we take a break here in the first period with the Avalanche on top by 1.
From bored to human and back again. But this time, 7 of 9 isn't the only one making a shocking transformation.
State your instructions. We've got a war to fight. We understand.
Is this the future of Voyager?
When diplomacy fails, there's only one alternative. Violence. It's the Starfleet way.
Find out on an all-new episode.
Wednesday night at 8 on UPN 20.
99.5 FM The Hawk. The difference is the music.
It's about music in the morning.
Not talk.
I get talk at work all day long.
I don't want a lot of talk.
I need my rock and roll.
I need to wake up in the morning with the Hawk.
99.5 FM The Hawk.
Great rock and roll.
It's just music, music, music.
Get you all excited. You fired up?
Absolutely. While everyone else is talking, the Hawk is rocking.
The Hawk! I mean, what do you want? Talk or music? I want the Hawk, not the talk.
At 99.5 FM The Hawk, it's about the music.
On today's AutoZone leaderboard, Forsberg with 7 points.
Courtnall with St. Louis, 6 points. Those all came in game 1.
Now Tom Fitzgerald on the faceoff against Doug Waite. Fitzgerald kicked out, so Yale, who of course normally is the center on this line, I believe they wanted Fitzgerald to take the faceoff, but he's tossed, so Yale will take it against Waite. It's Yale, Fitzgerald, and Odgers as the Oilers get the puck on the boards. And Ryan Smith was hammered, but gets